Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. We talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm your host, Jeffrey, and subscribe to the channel if you like sports content, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. I've got the Alabama hat on, and I've got the Indiana shirt on because it was a good day for both Alabama and Indiana, despite both games not being all that great, right? But they were wins. And I think that at the end of the day, at this point in the season, when you get into November and you're getting closer and closer to the college football playoffs, a win's all that matters. Like, it doesn't matter what people tell you. A win's all that matters because you lose at this time of the season. It is costly because at least when you lose early, like in the case of Alabama, you lose to Florida State. Look what Alabama's done since. They've won every game since then. Now look where they're at in the rankings. They're ranked number 4th. It's almost like that Florida State loss hasn't even hurt them in any way, shape, or form. As long as they keep winning, they'll be fine. But you lose this late in the season, then you don't have enough time to make up ground again in the rankings when you do lose a game. So it is very costly if you lose at this point in the season. A whole lot worse than if you lose earlier in the year. But a lot of teams, there were a lot of close results. There were a lot of close wins, but there were also some teams that completely blew their chance to make the college football playoff today as well. And I cannot wait to get into all of it and more as we recap the Week 11 games. Might even bring on callers as well, depending on, how the show's going. If it's not too late before I bring on calls where I get through all these games. We have a certain someone who wants to come on the show. You know who that is. He always is wanting to come on and talk about his Buckeyes. So we'll see how it goes. Definitely missed doing the Week 10 edition of the recap. To do a recap show last week, but it just did not happen. Sorry about that because been having a lot of fun doing these with you guys every single week, and I can't believe college football is starting to wind down. We're in November. It's getting to that time of year, so definitely we got to enjoy it while it lasts. You've got the NFL too. You've got college basketball. It's going to be fun. All that stuff's great, but there's something about college football, man. It's something about it. It's just a great time of year. Love it. Love talking about it with you guys. We've already got Long Legs 1989 in here. We got Godfather of the SEC. It's going to be a party. I agree. We're partying tonight. But let's get into some of these games really quick, though. Like, you got Ohio State and Purdue. And yet again, Ohio State winning a game in the exact fashion that you would expect them to win. Yeah, they're not beating teams by 50, 60 points, but they're just beating them. They're just going out there and pretty much manhandling teams without fully manhandling them. Like beating Illinois, beating Purdue. It feels like they could win these games by a lot more, but they're just choosing not to. It's like, hey, well, we don't have to win by this much. So, we're just going to play our game and get the win. It just kind of feels like that's what Ohio State's doing. Because, I'm not, massively impressed by that result. But, the game was never in doubt. It's not like Ohio State did anything wrong. It's not like it was a close game. But Ohio State won. They're the number 1 team in the country. They're going to continue to remain the number 1 team in the country until they lose. So, Ohio State taking care of business. We'll see how things go when they play Michigan. And we'll see how things go in the Big Ten Championship game and beyond. Because that's where Ohio State's true tests are going to lie. Up next, though, a team that got completely tested and about gave me a heart attack watching them on TV today. Indiana outblew their perfect season. And I called this. I called this game that it was going to happen. People were telling me, even the people that doubted Indiana coming into this season, even the people that have been doubting Indiana all through the season, oh, they're going to lose to Iowa. Oh, they're going to lose to Oregon. Oh, they're going to lose to Illinois. Those same people, and even people on the national media for sports, all said IU is going to win this game. Everyone on College Game Day as well said Indiana was going to win this game. And not only did they say Indiana was going to win this game, they said that Indiana was going to cover in this game. Every single person. I did not say that. If you go back and watch my predictions yesterday for this game, or now 2 days ago now because it's Sunday, but on Friday, I said that Penn State was going to cover in this game. And I said that this game was going to be close. Because It felt like a classic trap game. And it also felt like Penn State was going to try for the final time this season. The rest of Penn State's season is absolutely irrelevant. Obviously, they have to win out to even make a bowl game. I don't even know if they'll care at that point. But it just felt like after Terry Smith taking over, and, they lost to Ohio State, lost to Northwestern, that this game was like the last game where Penn State could try anything to salvage something from the season, have a good moment. I don't know. I just felt like this game was going to be close. And in Indiana's defense, Indiana is starting to get banged up. I watched a lot of Hoosiers go down against Maryland. And some of them did not return in this game. Surratt did not play today. A lot of Indiana's offensive linemen did not play today. So, Indiana is not healthy, which, you can say is not an excuse. Even Cignetti brought it up, and he said it's not an excuse. But I just felt like this game was going to be close. Penn State is still a very talented team. According to FPI, Penn State is still the 22nd best team in college football coming into today. And I almost would think this result would make Penn State look even better. That Penn State is still a top 20-ish team. Even though they're 3-6, even though they play like crap, I don't think anybody can really deny that Penn State's not a quality team. So, I don't know. We're gonna bring Jackson Johnson on tonight. It's gonna be a great time talking with you, Jackson. Before we get any of the other callers on, I'm sure it's gonna be insane. But right now, I'm talking about Indiana Penn State, Jackson.
Oh my God, that was a wild game on mid-noon kickoff.
Are you shocked it went the way that it did?
Yes, I was, because it was like, no way Penn State can do this. But then I see you posted about the game day curse where everybody's picking Indiana beat the spread, and then it's boom.
The thing is, Jackson, is that I said this game was going to be close. I think I predicted Indiana to win by like 10, but I said this game was going to be close because I felt that Penn State was going to try. I don't know. I just had this sneaking suspicion because you think about it. Indiana has never won at Beaver Stadium prior to today. They have never won in Happy Valley. So yet another record Cignetti has broken, by the way, in the long lineage of records. The thing is, Stephen Cherry, I appreciate you being here, by the way. I understand what you're saying. I get it. Penn State this season has been bad, but I don't know if you watched the game. You probably did. I'm sure a lot of people did because it was a banger of a game. If you just take the teams out of it, you take the records away. Both teams played extremely hard. It was a very well-fought game. So, did it look like Penn State played like a top 20 team today, Jackson? Did it look like their talent came through? Did it look
They look like the team everybody expected them to be?
But see, the thing that frustrates me, though, is because this result happened the way that it did. Oh, Indiana barely beat a team that's 3-6. I don't agree with that statement. It is a factual statement. Yes, Indiana barely beat a team that's 3-6, but what you're implying is that Penn State is awful. Yes, Penn State, for the vast majority of the season, has played awful football. They didn't play awful today. And I know you can be like, well, that's because Indiana didn't play good. Where did Indiana not play good? Outside of Mendoza's interception, that was a bad throw.
Oh, man.
Indiana really didn't play that bad. They didn't miss field goals. They didn't have that many penalties. They ran the ball okay. Indiana didn't play bad. Penn State played pretty daggum good. Grunkemeyer played pretty daggum good. Honestly, I think it was Grunkemeier's best game by far. I mean, and again, that's because Indiana didn't play. Again, I feel like Penn State played a lot better than they have played in a long time. This game, they showed up.
Well, they were better than they were against Ohio State and everybody else, that's for sure.
But, I mean, the thing is, you think about it, Jackson, and again, I know it's because they're 3-6, but, I mean, Happy Valley is a tough place to win. I understand people be like, well, Northwestern won there. Okay. The thing is that you've got to take it into perspective that Penn State is still an extremely talented football team. You got to take it into a perspective. and I don't know if you saw my tweet on this, Jackson. At the beginning of the season, Penn State was given an 83% chance to beat Indiana. So before the season, correct? Week 0, before the season started, FBI gave Penn State an 83% chance to beat Indiana. Then, now, coming into today or yesterday, Indiana was given an 83% chance to win this game. So the odds completely switched, right? Like, we're talking about from the beginning of the season, people believed that Penn State had an 83% chance to win, to today, IU had an 83% chance to win. The odds just do not completely flip. They just do not completely flip. They don't. Like Penn State is still that team that people thought was going to be that good, except they haven't. And Drew Aller had been crap, and James Franklin got fired. I mean, because I look at like Stephen Cherry you have right here, Georgia as your number 3 team. I think we saw Georgia barely beat Florida last week. 24-20. I mean, are we saying that Florida is better than Penn State? Because what I saw today was Florida get wrecked. Florida got wrecked, like destroyed. Absolutely destroyed by Kentucky. It's not like Florida got wrecked by Bama or A&M. They got wrecked by Kentucky. So all these games and all these results, you can throw any which way at the wall to decipher whether a team is better or not. Ohio State is the number 1 team in college football. You have no threat. For real. There is no threat to them. I don't think there's anyone on the planet outside of a few analysts that had completely done a 360 on Indiana and was like, oh, I think Indiana might be the best team in college football, actually. Wow, even though at the beginning of the season I said they were going to go 5-7. But I don't really think 99% of people in America think Indiana's the best team in college football. And not once have I said that. And I don't think anyone's really saying any other team is the best team in college football. We know Ohio State's the best team in college football. The problem is that Ohio State fans, not particularly you, but a lot of people online are starting to get upset at Indiana and their fans for being excited that they're good. And then throwing stuff at them like, well, hey, you barely beat Penn State and we blew them out. We could absolutely throw back Illinois. Y'all beat Illinois by 17. We won by 53. It doesn't matter, though. At the end of the day, Ohio State is still a better football team. I'm a believer that if Indiana somehow knocked off Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship game, if they face each other, that Ohio State's still the better football team. That's just the way I believe. Because there's no way on planet Earth that Indiana is a better football team than Ohio State. Ohio State's got 5 stars everywhere. Everywhere. All over the team. Indiana has 0 5 stars. Indiana has overcome all odds to be this good. Curt Cignetti has overcome all odds to be this good. That's why every single team in the land wanted Curt Cignetti. They didn't get him because Indiana locked them up. And what Indiana's doing is unthinkable. I don't know if Ron Day could do it at all. I don't think he could. I don't think Ron Day with this team could go 10-0. I don't think he could. But with Ron Day, with what he has, he's gone undefeated. And that's great because he's got a great roster. It's an amazing roster. Ohio State, year in and year out, is like Alabama. They're like Georgia. They have the best players in the land every single year, but Indiana does not have that. But it's really frustrating, though, because I think that people are starting to get on either side of the spectrum over crazy with IU, or they're just trashing them for no reason. And I don't think it's fair. It's not fair at all. Every team has bad games. Alabama played bad against South Carolina. Georgia played bad against Florida. A lot of these teams have had bad games. Ohio State last year won a national title while losing to Michigan and barely beating Nebraska.
Yeah.
Y'all really beat Texas this year, week 1. But still, everybody has games that are not great, man.
Agreed.
So I don't care that Indiana barely won this game because I expected this game to be close. I did.
Yeah. Yeah, because like honestly, I was amazed by that catch. Like, you just had like the tippy toe inbounds, the tippy toes inbounds that had Gus Johnson inside it. I mean, like
The thing is, Jackson, like you think about the game, right? Like Indiana was in control of the game. They were up 20-7. You know, they had the game. But then they kind of just fell apart. They fell apart. The offense just stopped working, and Penn State got some momentum, tied the game up, or not, rather, cut it to 3, and then took the lead 24-20. Singleton was great. Katron Allen was great. Both of those guys played really good. And again, I thought Grunkemeyer made great throws in the game. The fact that Indiana got the ball back, I mean, I don't know if anybody again was watching the game in here or not, but all you have to do is listen to that crowd. Penn State crowd was on freaking fire.
Oh, they were.
All that we are stuff. I mean, all I heard in the TV was "we are." Yeah, we are 3-5. Yeah, I know. We are Penn State. I got you. We know. Like I felt it through the TV. I felt the radio waves coming through, and I was like, "Oh crap, we're gonna lose."
Man.
Mendoza somehow, after getting sacked on 1st and 10, locked in. First pass to Cooper, 22 yards, first down, great pass. Then the pass to E.J. Williams, simple out route, 13 yards. And then there's some belief. Like IU gets to the 50. You got some belief. I don't know if you saw the whole sequence, Jackson, but then the Nowakowski catch in there, that was huge. Charlie Becker. Charlie freaking
Becker. That's your MVP right there, man.
Yeah, you talk about MVP, it's either Becker or Cooper.
He made Gus Johnson get side. Like I always love it when Johnson goes over to the middle. Oh! Like, you know you're in for a good time for a long time when you're hearing those words from Gus Johnson on Big Noon Kickoff on Fox.
Oh, yeah. It was incredible, Jackson. I mean, Charlie Becker, keep in mind, a guy that's not even a starter, not a regular rotation player. Like, he plays some, but he was clearly behind Surratt, Cooper, and E.J. Williams in the lineup. That guy comes in and like you said, MVP. Like, for the vast majority of the game, he was the only guy Mendoza was throwing it to. Mm-hmm. He caught all the balls. He was incredible. That catch that Becker made was insane. And then the Cooper catch. I mean, honestly, Omar Cooper's catch was one of the best catches I have ever seen in my life. And that's not a biased take. Like, that's up there with the Jackson Smith and Jigba toe tap. That's up there with Devontae Smith national championship, catch in the Georgia game years ago. It's up there with Bond and Brooks and all, the other crazy catches. It was insane. And again, Steven, the reason why Indiana fans are barking in your box is because Ohio State fans are barking at us. And again, that's not you necessarily. I'm not saying it's you or certain Ohio State fans, but anytime I tweet a thing about Indiana, great win, or this, and I have about 50 Ohio State fans telling me, Jeffrey, Indiana sucks. I mean, of course, Indiana fans are going to bark back when Ohio State fans are about, unfortunately, as cocky as you can physically get on social media. It's unfortunate. I don't blame Ohio State fans for being cocky. They have all the reason in the world to be cocky because, again, their team is so much better than Indiana's. Their team is so much better than 99% of teams in college football. And even the teams that are comparable to them, like Alabama, Georgia, and stuff like that, I still think Ohio State's better than them. So Ohio State is very cocky. And again, I'm not saying that's all Ohio State fans, but Ohio State fans are very cocky. And whenever anybody that's not Ohio State says anything good about their team, specifically in the Big Ten, and specifically if it's Indiana, then they get completely roasted because I don't even mention Ohio State most of the time. When I'm talking about IU on X, I'm just like, wow, what a play by Cooper. Someone was comparing Surratt and Jeremiah Smith, and I literally was like, well, hey, Surratt has had a great season and deserves to be talked about among the best receivers in the country, along with Jeremiah Smith. But that was taken as, oh, well, you're saying that Surratt is better than Jeremiah Smith, and therefore you're a moron. Well, that's not what I said. You're taking it out of context, Ohio State fan, because you have the better player and you want it to be known to everyone that you have the better player, which makes people not like you. That's the unfortunate thing. Like, Alabama is a more likable program now because they're not Saban anymore. Because they're not beating everybody by 50. Because
you're not seeing the bandwagon Bama people swinging their land down unders at people constantly.
No. And it's frustrating. I understand like your frustration, Steven, but you have to look at it from the opposite point of view. A lot of the barking IU fans are doing is because Ohio State fans are barking. And it's frustrating. And what's so frustrating about it is because Ohio State fans have always been able to bark. I mean, Mark Rogers himself, and we know this, Mark Rogers himself has even said, Jackson, that Ohio State is probably the most consistently great program of all time, right? Like, you think about, like, our down eras, Jackson. Alabama's had down eras. We know this. We hear it all the time. Oh, those LSU fans that talked all that smack. Where are you, LSU? I don't see you. LSU, you suck, right? So you think about all those LSU fans that came in our chat the other day. Before Saban, y'all were terrible. Well, yeah, we know.
Oh, yeah.
But again, we would love to trade our success. And then they're like, oh, we don't want to trade. What I meant by that is if Nick Saban, and again, even you heard Carter Bryant himself even agree when I said that, if Nick Saban had stayed at LSU and won all those national championships there, yeah, you would trade that.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely trade that, but you can't. And it's unfortunate. Like, if Cignetti left Indiana and went to Penn State, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. And if he had national championships over there, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I could say, well, if he had stayed at IU, he would have done that. But there's nothing you can do about it, LSU. At least you got one title out of Saban.
Well, that's thing though is, like 2011 is like the only year I could think of where Ohio State really had a down season. Although, to be honest, if that were me, I'd have given myself a postseason ban for 2011 and just shoot for 2012. But that's just what I would have done if I was Ohio State in 2011. But hindsight is 2020. What's your name about Texas A&M Missouri today?
I have literally no thoughts on this game at all. Missouri without.
Oh, you missed out on the fake punt today from A&M. Oh,
yeah, I didn't see any of this game, so too bad. I missed the fake punt, but I mean, this is another game. It just doesn't matter. Missouri. The only way this game would have mattered is if Missouri had made it a game. It's unfortunate that they're broken. I mean, they don't have their starting quarterback. They don't even have their backup quarterback. They're at a third string quarterback, so their season's over. It's a shame. A&M, I mean, it's a good win on the road, but I mean, they're not playing the same they're not playing the same Missouri team that we did. When we played Missouri, they were a lot better.
Well, yeah, that Bo Perbula injury has hurt Missouri a lot.
Their season's over. I mean, and I understand, well, they're going to make a bowl game. What I mean by their season is over is that they're not going to make the playoffs. That's what everyone cares about these days, right? Is making the playoffs. Missouri's season is over. They have losses and they're out of the race, so it's very.
There's always the win over Kansas for Missouri. So there's that. Your top rival.
Well, it cracks me up because I've seen some A&M fans say that, it needs to be ranked number 2 now, which I could care less. I mean, if the committee wants to rank A&M number 2 for beating Missouri with a third string quarterback, I mean, sure. I mean, my thing is I will reemphasize that didn't A&M play a game against Arkansas that was 45-42?
Oh, God, that was terrible.
Texas A&M also play a game against Auburn that was 16-10?
Georgia needed to
exist,
rest
right?
the bell out against Auburn. Ugh.
I mean, those were real results, right, Jackson? That Texas A&M beat Auburn 16-10 and Arkansas 45. Those happened, correct?
Yep.
So why does A&M deserve necessarily to be ranked ahead of Indiana? Because Indiana barely.
I think there's one reason why I think it is. That win over Notre Dame is what's keeping them in the top 3, and they're the lone SEC team that's unbeaten right now, which I think that's what's really helping A&M. I mean,
But what I'm asking, because that's fair, but I think Indiana's win over Oregon still is better than A&M's over Notre Dame. For one. Number two, just because A&M's undefeated in the SEC, why does that mean that they should jump Indiana? Because that's what I'm asking. Because a lot of people are saying that A&M should jump Indiana. I'm not saying they shouldn't be 3. A&M at 3, they deserve to be in the top 3. Like when Travion earlier on Alabama Voice of College Football about Alabama being at 4, Alabama's going to remain at 4 until one of these top 3 teams lose. They're never going to jump them. You can't physically jump an undefeated team from the SEC or the Big Ten. If Indiana, Ohio State, and A&M keep winning, then Alabama will remain at 4. There's just nothing you can do about it.
That's fine.
But I'm saying that why does A&M, because I've seen people say that they need to be number 2, why should they jump Indiana for number 2?
That part I do not know because it's like,
because there's no reason. You have no answer because there's no reason. You look at the resumes, you look at the results. Both Indiana and A&M had 2 games this year where they were not very good. A&M against Arkansas, A&M against Auburn, Indiana against Penn State, Indiana against Iowa. So Indiana barely beating Iowa is not even bad because Iowa is not a bad football.
I don't really consider that an indictment on anybody, really, because I mean it's like winning.
Oregon barely won there.
Yeah, winning at Kennett Stadium, you know, that's awesome in of itself because getting out of there alive is awesome. But because
but then you have Indiana's result against Penn State, and it's like, okay, Arkansas and Auburn are worse football teams than Penn State.
Yeah.
The problem is that Penn State has played so poorly this season that statement sounds ridiculous. But again, I'm going to re-emphasize that Penn State played a heck of a football game today. And what's so funny is that next week they'll probably not even show up. Next week they probably get blown out. I don't know if they care. But
they play Michigan State next week.
Well, they might win that game. I don't know. But the point is
win that game. They'll lose to Nebraska by 3 to 7 points. And Rutgers on rivalry week is going to be a toss-up for Penn State.
The point I'm making with Penn State, though, is that there's not going to be a game the rest of this season where they're going to play as hard as they did today. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't care if people watch the game or not. I don't care if Penn State's 3-6. Penn State played hard today. I watched the game. I've watched. You talk about watching film. I'm not a big film guy, but I watched the game over. I've seen the highlights, man, over and over of the IU Penn State. Penn State was freaking working and flying all around the field. The Indiana Penn State game was aesthetically a way better football game than Alabama LSU tonight. The Alabama LSU game, I wasn't even moved at all. The game was boring. The game wasn't even that good. I mean, we should have played a lot better. Indiana Penn State was a freaking dogfight, man. That both teams were flying around, and it's a shame that Penn State chose today to try.
I know, right?
Because if they had tried all season long, they wouldn't be 3-6 right now. Because I watched that UCLA game, they didn't give a flip during that game. That was the most anemic performance I've ever seen. Like, yeah, I'm calling you out, Penn State, because again, it's a shame that college football fans do this to themselves, where they don't understand sometimes that sometimes a team shows up and sometimes a team does not. Penn State against UCLA was like a Division III school. Penn State today, and again, even Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt kept saying it. They kept saying it. Yeah, this looks like the Penn State team that was ranked 2 in the preseason.
I never understood.
Like that. They played really good today. But Penn State's 3-6. Like, I know, like, Steven's losing his mind, and I love that. I love that Steven is losing his mind. It's amazing. Every time I get him to say, oh, boy, I know I'm on the right track here. It's great. I love it. But, I mean, you can't deny that. You cannot deny that Penn State did not play like a top 20 football team today. You can't. There's just nowhere on planet Earth that you can say that Penn State was that 3-5 team today. They didn't play like the 3-5 team that had lost the previous 5 games. No. I'd watch some of Penn State's previous games. Against Northwestern, they were trash. Against UCLA, they were trash. Just trash. Absolute trash. The
Iowa, they were trash.
I mean, pretty much they were trash. They were a little
Ohio State chewed them up like a chicken nugget.
They showed up today. You know, I mean, I can't help that Penn State showed up today, but I knew they would because something inside me knew they would. Something like, you know what? Penn State's going to show up today. They're going to try to win. And they did. And I'm so glad they didn't win.
Yeah, because I bet.
Already crap. They might as well just keep losing. That's the whole point of getting rid of James Franklin, right? Is that they suck. They deserve to keep losing. They should have fired Franklin after the season. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm almost getting a little bit frustrated, which I try not to, but I'm getting a little frustrated that this game happened the way that it did because of the fact that at the end of the day, I'm just glad IU won. I'm glad their dream season is still alive. They could go 12-0 for the first time in history. It's amazing. But people just want to keep talking about the fact that Indiana barely beat Penn State when literally every other team in college football has barely beaten a crappy team. Everyone does it. Georgia looked like crap against Florida. Crap against Auburn. Every team has bad games. We looked horrible against South Carolina. I thought we were done, Jackson. We talked about it on Alabama, the Voice of College Football. We looked dead, and then we turned it around. What matters is that Indiana won. It does not mean that Indiana is better or worse or whatever than Ohio State. No one's saying that. Ohio State's the best team in college football until proven otherwise. But Indiana did what good teams do, and they won the game. And that's what I'm saying. They should not drop in the CFP poll. They probably will drop them, man. But why? A&M barely beat Arkansas. Is Arkansas a good football team?
No.
Are they good? And they gave up 42. 42 to Arkansas. So get out of here, man. Oh, it's a robbery. I don't care. A&M, if you're that good, why'd you barely beat Arkansas? Why? Why'd that happen? Why'd you barely beat Auburn? I don't make the rules, man. We watch these games for a reason, and I knew the game was going to be close. I knew IU was barely going to win today. And I thought they were going to lose today. But I picked them to barely win. So I was correct, but I don't like it. I wish they had won by 25. But it wouldn't have mattered if Indiana had won by 25 because you know what? Indiana still sucks. Somehow. They suck. They're horrible. And people just can't let them be happy, man. I'm still blown away Indiana's 10-0. I'm blown away. I can't believe it. All I know is that and Indiana was going to regress, Jackson. You don't remember that? Indiana was going to regress. They're going to lose to Illinois. They're going to lose to Remember, Illinois was the new Indiana. Oh, yeah. You also remember the fact that Willie Fritz was the new Signetti. And right after they said Willie Fritz was the new Signetti, he went out there and got his boat raced against some crap Big 12 team. So I love the fact that this just keeps happening. It's amazing. I think it's awesome. Because people just keep finding, I saw today, Signetti. You know what? All the college teams are an option, but he's going to go to the NFL. Jackson, he's going to go to the NFL. Curse go to the NFL because some guy in the media that thinks he knows crap thinks he's going to go to the NFL. So he's not going to stay in Indiana. There's just no world where he stays in Indiana. He's going to go to the NFL. He's not going to go to Penn State. If he's not going to go to LSU or Florida, he's going to go to the NFL.
Oh,
the man said he was going to retire at Indiana. So, again, I love it. That's why I like having you in the chat, Steven. You're an amazing guy because you make it better. You get the frustration out of me sometimes because it's awesome. It's awesome that you do it.
And it got him face freezing for a moment.
The face freeze makes it even better. But you bring the frustration out of me because you like to stir the pot, and I think that's amazing. We all do that. But when it comes to IU, you just know exactly what buttons to press because all I get bombarded with every freaking week is that Indiana is trash and Indiana is no good. They're 10-0. Just let them have it, man. No one cares about crappy A&M that can't win a championship since 1941 or 40 or whatever the freaking was. No one cares about them. People care about the fact that Indiana has not done squat in their whole history. I mean, 136 years of football prior to Curt Cignetti.
Man.
0 10-win seasons. 2 years of Cignetti, 2 10-win seasons. I don't care if the schedule's crap. I don't care if whatever. I don't care. It's amazing. I think it's great. And you want to know what? IU is never going to displace Ohio State in college football, ever. Even if they ever beat them again, which they could. You never know if they beat them this year or next year or whenever. Ohio State's not going to get dethroned. They're one of the greatest programs of all time. Alabama as the top tier. I'll let IU have their fun. And if they're getting a little bit crazy on social media, just and maybe Ohio State fans should stop targeting them back. Because, oh boy, they do. Oh my gosh. Indiana's nothing, man. We're going to win by 40. Well, you might. But who cares right now? It ain't there. 1 week at a time, man. Focus on your next opponent. Beat Michigan this year. That would be a great. I beat Michigan. And then beat Indiana by 40. But we're not there yet. I don't care about that right now. All I'm saying is that Indiana deserves to have this moment in the sun. Again, I'm a Bama fan for life. But I've been rooting for this crappy, just trash program for some ungodly reason because I'm weird, I guess, liking IU for no reason. I got no family that lives in Indiana. I've got no reason to like Indiana. But just for some reason, the amount of flack that this program gets, people just hate them, man. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to root for this Kevin Wilson, Tom Allen pile of crap program. Now they're number 2 in the country. And my suspicions were right. If Indiana ever got good, people would react this way. And it's been better than I could have imagined. And I hope it don't end. I hope Cignetti stays at IU for 10 years and they keep winning because I love how mad it makes people. I think it's amazing, Jackson. The amount of just pissed off, pent up energy people have about this program, especially programs that are bad. Like it is amazing how programs like LSU that suck, that should be great, they're mad at IU and they want Cignetti. There's people on there right now. We're going to get Curt Cignetti to come to LSU. And I'm like, what happened to Lane? What happened to little Lane? Lane Kiffin, right? Lane Kiffin's where he is at Ole Miss. He does not need to go anywhere. Lane Kiffin, again, love to interview the guy. Smart man if he stays at Ole Miss. Forget LSU. No one cares about LSU right now. They're irrelevant. They need to fix their program, man. They got the governor involved, and it's a mess. It's all just screwed up right now.
Like the governors, well, now they got a new school president. Maybe things will be better, but I'm not really kind of counting on it in Baton Rouge. I mean, if you're having to have your governor get involved because, you don't have a school president, this basically reeks of 2017 when Tennessee was looking to replace Butch Jones. But that
be compared to that.
Ugh.
I mean, the thing with LSU, man, is they're a great program. Yeah, they're a program. And they got tons of talent, and they always have tons of talent, just like 90% of the SEC teams always do. But the thing is that is a messed up situation right now. And if I'm Lane Kiffin, who has been a part of messed up situations in the past, I think I stay where I'm at. He's doing just fine at Ole Miss.
But you know something? There is a bright side to this LSU 2025 saga. Maybe that can be Quentin Tarantino's last movie that he directs before he goes off into the sunset writing.
A lot of people would watch it.
Oh, I know I would. I mean, especially, if you got like Margot Robbie in there. So there you go.
Let me ask you a question, Jackson. Do you think there's any team in college football right now that's hated more than Indiana?
Probably Miami because.
Well, I don't know why anybody would hate them. They suck. I mean, but yeah. Okay.
Not more like hate, but they really dislike Miami the most because it's like they brag every year that the U's back.
They're trash.
They can't do anything to back it up. Like, they have their big wins, when everybody's watching, but they stink up the room when nobody's watching. And I'm sure we'll break down Miami Syracuse a little bit, but it was like
I'm bringing on hummus because I know they're dying to talk. I'm doing it. I know I want to hear from them because saying Ohio State's hated much more. You do know why they're hated so much, Jackson, right? Not only because they win all the time and they're always good. It's because their fans online talk so much smack. It's unreal.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's true. I can't even defend the amount of smack talk that comes my way whenever I tweet anything about Indiana football. It is unreal. I mean, they are completely obsessed with trashing Indiana at all times, even when they're not being targeted, even when they're not being like talked about. It's not like I'm mentioning Ohio State every tweet. I don't do that, but somehow it just turns into just this I use trash and we gotta show how Ohio State's better. Ohio State is better. We know that Ohio State is better. We don't need to hear it 80 billion times. We know that Ohio State is better. Ohio State is better. I mean, I keep telling it to you. Ohio State is better than Indiana. It's not going to change. Doesn't mean Indiana can't beat them. They probably won't. But, I mean, it gets old, man. Like how are you doing tonight, Hummus? I mean, just for real, though. You know what I'm saying?
Long time no see, Hummus. How have you been, man? Hello in there.
Hey guys,
How you doing tonight, good buddy?
how you? I'm doing all right. I just woke back up. Those late games were so boring; they literally put me to sleep.
Yeah, Alabama LSU was a boring game. I agree. It was not entertaining at all. I'm glad we won, and it was a good game from that standpoint. And at times our defense was good, but I was not very entertained by the game personally. It was not very interesting.
I tell you one team I think people really dislike a lot, to be honest, gentlemen. I think Notre Dame. I could be wrong, but I think a lot of people dislike them because of their independence.
Well, they dislike them for a lot of reasons. One reason I'm not going to say because, but the independence thing, the independent whatever, the
fact that
why do people care about that, man? I mean, my thing is think about it. People get mad at Notre Dame because they're an independent and they play this small. They don't play a conference championship game and they still make the playoffs and then they get blown out. Well, you literally should be happy because of the fact if you face Notre Dame, then blow them out. Like, okay, and again, you're mad at Notre Dame makes the playoffs, but yet you expanded the playoffs to 12 teams where a 10-2 Notre Dame can make the playoffs. Again, I failed to understand the logic there. There's really no reason to hate Notre Dame other than the fact that you dislike them for the one reason, which who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter, like whatever.
Yeah, because I mean,
you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it, but it's just the way that it is, man. A lot of people hate Notre Dame for that reason, and then the independent thing. It's just who cares, man. It don't matter.
I mean, I would love to dictate my own schedule. I would love to have my own little TV contract and not have to share it with anybody. I mean, hell yeah, I'd be jealous from these other teams. I mean, they never say it, but that's obvious. I mean, I know, like, even my own team, like some of the fans of our team, Jeffrey, get real pissy about it, about like Notre Dame. It's like, dude,
I don't care. And it's not even because we know Will and D, our good friend. I don't even before knowing Will when I was younger, I did not care that Notre Dame was an independent. If they join a conference, great, cool. But I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything. It really doesn't.
And I always saw like a lot of the people that don't like that Notre Dame's not in the conference, they'll find something else to kind of get mad about, really, because it's gonna be, oh well, why'd you pick this? Why'd you pick that?
I want to ask Hummus Hero though about Ohio State fans online, and specifically them going off at Indiana fans, because I know Stephen Cherry's been talking about that Indiana fans barking at him stuff. I feel like Ohio State fans bark worse at Indiana than vice versa. I feel like a lot of your retaliation is that. I just want to hear your thoughts, though. I'm not saying you guys specifically because I like you guys a lot. I think you guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys for always being here. I love the conversation and stuff. It's just other Ohio State fans are going crazy about IU being good, and they talk crap all the time. And then when Indiana fans talk crap back, then it's like, oh, well, Indiana fans are mean, and they don't deserve, all the. I just want to hear your thoughts on Ohio State fans trashing Indiana online, and whether you think it's more them or IU or what.
I don't. I mean, it would only be speculation on my part, really, because I'm not in places like Twitter, so I don't probably see like the
smart.
Your brain was right. I think my brain is
players.
rotted from being on that place from time to time.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know on that for sure. Like I don't really see it because I only go on, like, sometimes probably the worst place that I go. I mean, honestly, I don't really even go on Mark's channel very often at all anymore because they can get pretty murky in those chats too. I just don't. I don't know. I'm a football fan, but I don't really care to get into all that. Like, usually I'm not really a hateful person myself, so I don't really. I mean, I hate Michigan, like, personally, but I just don't find it really necessary.
You don't go around making your whole personality about it.
Yeah, and that's what Ohio State and Michigan fans both do to equal degree. I mean, I hear that Michigan's worse, Ohio State's worse. I mean, I can't even spit for the difference. The only reason I'm saying that Ohio State fans are attacking Indiana fans more is because there's more of them, and because of they're very vocal, and they've made it very clear that Indiana is a fraudulent team and that they will win by 40 in the Big Ten championship game and this, that, and the other thing. And Jeremiah Smith is way better than Surratt, and Sagan is way better than Mendoza, and Kurt Cignetti's a fraud and he's a bad man. And okay, I got it. Thank you. Like, I'm just kind of sick of it, frankly. It's not going to stop, and I don't care. It's just the fact that Ohio State fans online get mad that people don't like them. And it's like, you're the reason people don't like you, man. Like, Alabama has become less unreasonably annoying. Because, again, I when I first got on the internet back when Saban, like when I was on Twitter for the first time, all that, Saban was still coach, our fans were bad. Like, they were very brutal and they were very mean. Yeah. And I was like, we don't have to do this. But, I mean, it's just when you're that good, you do that. You become very unlikable. And it sucks because you don't have to be that way, man. Like, Georgia fans, since Kirby won 2 titles, they've been bad the last 5 years. They trash me so hard whenever I say, hey, Georgia, you didn't play that great today. Screw you, Jeffrey. We're still better than Bama, and we beat y'all. Like, we beat you, Georgia, but we're still better. So, okay, pump the brakes. Like, you don't have to be this unlikable Bulldog energy just because your team's the Bulldog. Some fan bases really do this. They very hemorrhage themselves when they get very good, and to the point where nobody likes them online. Like you said, you're not on online spaces much, so you don't see it. But it's just really frustrating because Ohio State would not be unlikable if their fans online weren't so brutally mean to everybody. And I'm not one of those people about being mean because I promote people going off at each other most of the time. Like the chat, I don't block people. It's not my thing. I want people to have the discussion and go at each other and all that, as long as it's not to the point where YouTube's going to like want to shut the show down. But I mean, I just have encountered a lot of Ohio State fans that are just insanely, like, just brutal, man. Like, even to the point where, Indiana's players, it's good that they're getting hurt. And I'm just like,
yikes.
Yeah.
And every fan base does this to an extent, but it just seems like Ohio State is really doing it right now because I feel like they actually think Indiana maybe is a threat to an extent, which don't do that. Indiana's not really a threat to you, man. Ohio State's probably going to win by 2+ scores in the Big Ten championship game if we face each other. My focus is on the next 2 games because we could still lose the next 2 games. Indiana needs to focus on Wisconsin, Purdue, Ohio State, whatever the rest of the way they got. It's sad, though, Jackson and Hummus, because I feel like Ohio State and Indiana fans could really actually be cool to each other online if Ohio State every 2 seconds didn't have to say that they're 80 billion times better than Indiana every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going both ways. I mean, it's kind of probably a nuanced thing. It's probably a little bit of Indiana fans being boastful, I'm sure, which is fine. You know what I mean?
They've never been able to, ever.
Ohio State kind of is always getting poked. Like I said, the places that I go, it's pretty continual. Like SEC fans are always pretty arrogant and rude to Ohio State. Just going back years and years, just because at one point Ohio State, which is irrelevant and it's actually not true anymore. Ohio State has like a 500 or better, probably better record against the SEC in like the past decade. But like, it's just kind of a continual thing. And they'll always say, "Oh, you haven't played anybody. You haven't played anybody. You can't talk." It's like they're the defending national champions. Of course they can talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. But like, it's just a thing. So like, Indiana's kind of getting it probably a taste of what Ohio State gets and Alabama gets. You know what I mean? Where people just they get fatigued by your greatness and they just want to tear you down any way that they can. So like people are actually starting to get tired of Indiana. And it just so happens to be that the one group that's maybe feeling a little bit irritated is probably Ohio State. Just it's an all eyes on me thing. You know what I mean? Like some Ohio State fans, they probably just want, oh, don't talk about Indiana, talk about us. You know what I mean? Like, why are you talking about Indiana? But that's just conjecture. I can't get in the mind of other people. And I don't see, and I'm not cataloging every single thing that I see. But like I said, I honestly haven't seen it like at all, really, because the places that I go on like Bucknuts 247 or like.
Oh yeah, with Steve Hellwagon and Patrick Murphy and all those guys.
Yeah, or like Buckeye Huddle, like those
Tony Girdman and Kevin Noon and Tom Loy. Oh man, they're cool. Oh, and Juck on Butts is there as well.
Yeah, and Juck. Yeah, so those places that we just don't see it. Like I don't know. Well, there's not a lot.
I think it's because it's like you said, you're not on like Buckeye Scoop, for example, which I've heard that they're on a lot of shit lists they're on like everybody's shit list, so to speak, where it's I know that they were screwing over Chris Drew, I believe. Like I heard there was like a big dog fight between them where they were trashing him pretty hard.
But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of Indiana fans that enter into those places, which is a good thing. That's something to be said for Indiana. They're not coming to the worst is when and Michigan fans are terrible about this. They'll come into the like dedicated fan channels, a place that is like specifically, for a team, and then they come in there and they're just specifically there to troll. You know what I mean? That's the only reason they're there. They're not there to engage with anything that's polite and anything that's actually like constructive conversation. They just every once in a while you'll find a opposing fan, a rival fan that does this, but the vast majority of the time you see somebody from the opposing fan base in one of those channels. They're just there to troll. So and I haven't seen any Indiana fans in there doing that, so that's probably a good thing, a good point for Indiana fans that they're not doing that. But once again, I don't think their fan base, like Jeffrey said before, part of the thing with the Ohio State fan base is just so many online that you're gonna see some of the worst behavior of fans because there's more there. I'm sure if you did the same thing with Alabama and you got Georgia fans or Tennessee or whatever, you're gonna see some pretty bad behavior places and look at that. So, but I don't know. It's a nuanced discussion on why people hate and why they're doing it. Like I said, like the reason why people typically hate on Ohio State is that they're irritated by it, and it's an all eyes on me thing. They don't like it that Ohio State gets so much attention, so they hate on them. And then Notre Dame, like you said, it's other reasons. And then some people hate on the fan bases that they think are delusional. So like, the Tennessee fans, people can't just let Tennessee, and I'm not painting with a broad brush. Some Tennessee fans aren't, but we all know that a lot of Tennessee fans have been delusional, and they live in this little bubble where it's 1998 and it's like no, you haven't been that way in a long time. And every time you think you're that way, somebody should snap you back into reality really quick. but you just don't want it to happen, so you stay in this little delusional state. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. And then Texas, kind of the same, but a little bit less because they've been a little bit more relevant and a little bit more competitive. So they get a lot of hate too. Josh Pate actually did a thing a while back on the most hated teams in the sport. And these were some of the ones that were up there. But I think that Indiana people just don't want to take them seriously is what's probably going on. And the reality is that you need to take them seriously because, I mean, you could poke them today and say, oh, you shouldn't have. But the reality is Penn State's still a really good roster. Are they?
Thank you.
No, they're not a good team. But Penn State showed last week against Ohio State for a couple drives at least that if the ball bounces their way and they're playing pretty good, they can still hang in there.
There's a big difference too, Hummus, with Ohio State went to Illinois and won 34-17. Indiana beat Illinois 63-10 at home. Ohio State beat Penn State by 24 points at home, and Indiana won by 3 on the road. There's a big difference playing on the road. And again, I feel like Penn State actually tried to win today. They tried. Terry Smith tried. Like, the team tried. They showed up to win today.
Yeah.
That's
I think
on the broadcast before the game, Penn State said, we're going to show up to win today. They didn't look like that against UCLA where they look like a D2 school.
They tried to. I think they tried to win against Ohio State. I mean, as evidence of the first half. It's just that what happened was that they rolled. They did. I think they rolled over because at the beginning of the second half, if you watched the whole game, it was just an onslaught. Like the ball bounced their way once at fumble, and they were into the game. They were in it. You know what I mean? But then it was just like boom, it's over. You know what I mean? So like that's the same thing in football always. If you're an underdog and you're outmanned and you hang around, eventually you're going to hang around till the end. And usually it's somewhere like third quarter, mid-third quarter-ish. If you can't put team away by then it's going to be a nail biter down to the end. And I didn't watch the majority of the Indiana-Penn State game. But I'm sure that's probably what happened. There comes a point.
It's what happened. Indiana was up 20-7, and then Penn State got the run game going. I mean, Singleton and Allen got going. I mean, again, Indiana's lines of scrimmage were not as good today, but Indiana also has a lot of injuries right now that aren't being documented because Indiana was blowing everybody out, so it was okay. It was okay that Indiana was suffering injuries left and right. They're not severe, but Indiana's down a lot of players right now, key players. And our offensive line was destroyed today. I mean, we got 3 third-string dudes out there. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's going to get fixed by the Big Ten championship game, hopefully. But it's not good right now. And Penn State took advantage of that because I don't know their injury situation on their end, but I know outside of Aller, they're all right. I don't think there's a lot of injuries on Penn State's team besides Aller.
Well, they still have depth too. That's the thing.
And Penn State's got depth. I mean, I was looking at Penn State's defensive linemen make Maryland's defensive linemen look like ants. Penn State's big. They're a big team. I mean, their freaking punter's big. I mean, big team. I mean, coming into the game, Hummus, Penn State was ranked by FBI as the 22nd best team in college football. Still.
Yeah.
Grunkelmeyer looked pretty good today, but from now on, I'm just going to call him Grunkle Ethan. Yeah.
Grunkle.
Yep. Kind of like Grunkle Stan Grunkle Ford.
He's a pretty talented kid. He's from about 10 minutes down the road from me. He grew up right close to where I grew up at. It's pretty cool to see him do well. So.
Yeah, to Clint Moses' point here, though, this statement right here, this probably frustrates me more than anything else when it comes to discourse online. Because you're a fan of a certain team, it shouldn't negate your football knowledge. And people do that. They'll be like, oh, well, you're a fan of Oregon State or you're a fan of Rutgers. You don't know ball. It's like, what? How does that matter, man? Like, that doesn't matter at all. If you're a fan of a bad team, you still know ball. You can doesn't mean you do or not. You can be a fan of all. I know people that are fans of Alabama football that don't know jack about football. Okay, they don't know squat. They're dumb. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe in other areas of their life, they're geniuses. Maybe they know music. Maybe they know art. Maybe they know how to build stuff. But when it comes to sports knowledge, they're dumb. They don't know anything. They just know that Alabama.
Oh, I love it. What Godfather.
That's literally all they know. And I mean, the Ohio State fans, I'm sure there are tons of Ohio State fans that are dumb. And I'm sure there are tons of Tennessee fans that are dumb, and Indiana fans that are dumb, and Army fans that are dumb, and any other fans that are dumb about sports, because not everybody that watches sports knows a lot about sports. They just don't.
No, that's a
casuals, and then there's people that know. And that is frustrating to me when someone's going to say that someone that legitimately knows football but just happens to like a bad football team means like, oh, well, you don't deserve to talk because you're a fan of a bad team. You don't know anything. That is stupid. That is
I know, right? It's
just freaking planet. That is dumb. Like you saying that lowers you way down the totem pole, man. Like you just lost points. You know, if this was a video game, you lost 1,000 points. Like, that's bad. That is
one thing that kind of like messes with me a little bit when people say, "Oh crap, I watched this team, they won," or "Oh man, I watched this team, that's why they lost." It's like, yeah, I don't think the teams are sitting there going, you know, "Oh, we're jinxed by this one guy or this one girl watching us."
Yeah, it kills me. People will be like, "Oh, I feel like if I don't watch," and some of it's funny. I know some people that say
I had to tell a relative this tonight.
It's legitimately funny though, Jackson. Like, there's people that will say that I know in my life, and it's great. Like, it's hilarious. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch my team because they'll win." It's cute. It's hilarious. I have no issues with that. It's fun. But if you legitimately believe that, then there's something wrong. Because you watching or not watching a game thousands or hundreds of miles away where the stadium is being played is not going to affect whether your team wins or not. It is not going. I could have not watched the Indiana Penn State game, and Indiana still would have won 27-24. But I did watch the game, and they won 27-24. And I'm glad they did win. But it didn't matter whether I watched the game or not. It didn't matter.
I don't know. I don't know. If I don't wear my lucky socks, then I think Ohio State might lose.
Hey, again, I think it's cute. I think it's funny. When people legitimately like or get crazy about that, I'm just like, all right.
These superstitions they're fun, and I like literally I have to put on like my lucky socks, and I have to do stuff like this. But I know in reality it has zero impact. Like that's
and again, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, Hummus. I think it's awesome. Like you doing that, it puts a big smile on my face. It's funny, but when people take it like too far, it just cracks me up. I'm just like, there's really no word to really know for sure where it's too far. It's just how some people are. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's kind of a nuanced discussion also on like can't talk with you don't know ball because you're a fan. Like the reality is that you could know ball like in a different way. Like you could be like a former player or even a coach and still be like delusional. You know
like
what I mean?
Cam Newton, for example, because
people are going to say like Mike Kadick, the IU offensive lineman, now is at Barstool Sports. Every time that dude tweets anything, people just go after him, man.
It's like every time I see Cam Newton talk about college football, on First Take, I just die of cringe. I go, I'm just sitting there going, dude.
Cam Newton's he's like somebody who would like he knows ball, but he says like ridiculous stuff. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that's something that he really thinks or if it's just some BS that he's
like
out.
Trying to be like a Stephen A. Smith or something where he just
because I mean it's like I think Cam Newton should try to focus more on trying to look like a pimp named Slipbat from the Boondocks than try to give college football analysis right now.
You could be completely reasonable and you could be a good analyst and know nothing like a good reasonable analyst and know like I never played football. Like I only know about football from like watching it for 35 years or whatever I've been watching it. So I don't know X's and O's, but I try to be realistic and have good opinions on the places where I can.
But how do you guys feel about Clay Travis?
I don't like Travis at all. He's a complete goof.
He kind of says some wild takes sometimes, but it's just like, yeah, it's
Clay Travis or Dave Portnoy.
They're both. They're both just trying to
that whole man, like that dude. This is just for non-sports reasons. Like I watch it for the sports stuff, or sometimes like his interviews, or like the one bite pizza things. But like seeing that interview where he was like yelling at his co-host to, where he was just calling him a bald fuck and just shut up. I was like, dude, you don't have to be a turd. I mean,
I hate it when people drag politics into sports too, and those two both have a tendency to do that. So once again, not trying to drag politics into this discussion, but I just would rather. I just don't.
Well, another guy that people say do the same thing is like Dan Dockage, right? From
Outkick.
Yeah. I mean, Dan Dockage is another example. I mean, the thing is, Stephen A. Smith does the same thing. It's like it just depends on.
But at least Stephen A.
Because there'll be people out there that think Dave Portnoy and Clay Travis are like the worst people on the planet, but they think Stephen A. is like
anybody that
amazing person on the planet, and then vice versa.
Yeah,
it's just. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to like people that you agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anybody that knows
how that works, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're watching a sports guy and he's telling you that Indiana is a great football team and Indiana is your favorite team in college football, then you're gonna love that guy. But if he's out there telling you that Indiana's a fraud and they're should be and all that, you're not gonna like him. And that's the same thing to me when it goes for Portnoy, Travis, Dockage, Stephen A., whatever. If those dudes are talking about stuff that you agree with or disagree with, that's going to determine whether you like them or not.
I'll be honest with you, John. I find Stephen A. be a little more likable than Portnoy, because it's like, Portnoy makes himself out to be like this, tough guy, screw your feelings attitude. But then it's like when it's his feelings, he gets in his feelings real quick. Whereas like Stephen A., I think at least tries to get different perspectives. Like I think like, out of that First Take show on ESPN where he acts like this angry guy, like he's George Jefferson, like acting all mad. That Straight Shooter show he's got, and the Stephen A. Smith show on Sirius XM, I think he's trying to get like literally everyone on the political aisle on his show. Because like,
I mean, if you try to do something like what Stephen A. Smith is attempting to do, I mean, you have the possibility of attracting a wide range of people to, hear what different people have to say. But it's a fine line, because most things, I'm trying to figure out how to do this in a way that's okay. But basically everything these days is either one side or the other, and you either agree or disagree. So it's very hard to kind of have
tribalism.
It all work.
It's political tribalism, but I think to what Jackson's saying is that on ESPN, we all know that most of the ESPN commentators, well, not all of them, and a lot of them have left because they don't, but a lot of them tend to lean left. Yeah. But the thing is that ESPN's still trying to, like as a company, they're not trying to like alienate people. The biggest thing with a place like Outkick is that they make no ifs, ands, or buts about it, like which way they lean. So like it's a part of their programming from what I've seen. Like it's just part of what they do. You know what I mean? ESPN people might say, "Oh, Disney, they have an agenda, they have this or that," and that might be true, but they're not outward about it. So for that reason, it's not like all the time in your face, this and that. And that turns a lot of people off. Like, I don't like Disney for various reasons. But, I don't engage in the political tribalism, just like I don't engage in the nonsensical banter that you see on Twitter and stuff with like college football. I'm just not going to do it, regardless of what I think. But like I'll say that for ESPN is that it's not like it's, and once again it's a risk. It's like would they like to do that? Maybe, but they know that if they do it, they're going to immediately like get anybody that's even on the fringe of being like politically tribal. They're going to shut them off to their programming. At least their like talk programming, which they don't need any more of that because they already at one point they were like king of the hill, and they really had it made. Like when I was a kid, Sports Center and all those shows, like they were great. Like I think part of the interruption's still pretty good. I watch it every now and then.
Oh yeah, I watch a little bit of the Angry Bulldogs because that's what they kind of look like. There's like,
I think Outkick kind of I don't want to use the word pioneer. I don't know how you would describe it, but they kind of started with the like political angle in sports, and to me it's just something that I don't like. If I want to listen to political commentary, I want to go somewhere else. Exactly. Like I don't like it everything being made such an issue when the vast majority of the time it's just like everything else. It's just they're just trying to get clicks. They're basically just preying on people. And in the realm of sports, like are things political? Sometimes they are. You know what I mean? But the vast majority of the time they're making issues where they don't exist in places like that. You know what I mean? If something like I don't know how you would say it, if something like kind of crosses over the line in sports and it becomes directly political, then talk about it. But you don't need to turn every single thing in sports into politics. Like that's just annoying. You know what I mean? So for that reason, that's why I wouldn't listen to Outkick. You know what I mean? And I don't like that if Stephen A. Smith is doing it either. And I know he's one person that ESPN gives a platform to that tends to do that. And once again, it's because they think, oh, this is gonna generate views. This is gonna get people either engaged or infuriated or whatever it might be, and they kind of allow them to do it. And
well, for example, Hummus, I mean, I saw that. I don't care about this, but I real quick, I saw a article about like the most influential people in the world in like 2024 or whatever, and a lot of them are like political or sports or like just commentators, media people, right? People know. Stephen A. Smith was like third, and they were like, "Oh, it's because Stephen A. Smith crosses a lot of different topics, and people go to him for stuff." And I'm just like, okay. Like, I don't watch them, but I mean, it's just like I get that. But I mean, like you said, it's a fine line because a lot of people don't like that. It depends on what you're talking about or how you're approaching it or whatever. A lot of people don't like that. But go ahead, Jackson. What were you saying?
Well, and I was going to say, because you mentioned about him being the third most influential person in 2024. Where it's like a lot of people, like we always see him on this show or that show. Like just the other night, I know I've seen him on Fox a million times with Hannity. I've seen him on with Mark Levin a few times, and he's been on with O'Reilly at News Nation and Chris Cuomo at News Nation. And I forget the lady's name at CNN, but she was Alex Trebek's preferred candidate to take over for him when he retired from Jeopardy for, well, obvious reasons. I know he had Tapper, and he's been on with Bill Maher quite a dozen times on Real Time with Bill Maher, and he's been on twice on Club Random. And there's just been like numerous others I could think of. Like he's all over the aisle. Like I will give him that, like because he always goes all over the place.
But that's why he's such an influential person per se, because he's everywhere. Again, that's a for better or for worse thing. I mean, I can't really say because I don't watch Stephen A. Smith basically ever. But I mean, when you're all over the place and you're in front of a lot of different people, because I mean, let's face it, everyone that you just said is a different audience. Like they're all a different audience. I know people that watch only one of those people that you said, or a couple. They're not going to watch all of them. But if Stephen A. Smith is all those places, then chances are someone's seeing Stephen A. Smith. That's just how that works. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I think Stephen A. Smith might be genuine in some of the stuff that he believes, and if he has convictions, that's fine. You disagree with him. Once again, discourse in this country is so terrible. Like, you talk about it with, like, sports fan bases going back and forth and just getting nasty to each other. It's the same thing with so many things that you see on the internet, and the internet just breeds it. The internet, like all of the once again, not to get like into the weeds with politics, but like just on the discussion of politics, like part of the fuel that we see with the divisiveness in this country has been the internet. Like, it really has. Because it used to be, if you wanted to go to a public space and talk about somebody, like, you had to do it face to face. And people are just, like, as we've seen on the internet, people are so quickly to just be like a keyboard vigilante or a keyboard ninja or whatever you want to call it. And they don't care. And they're just going to, like, be brutal and savage and not, like, consider other people's, not even consider them to be a person, because they.
Well, my thing is, Hummus, is like, you have people that say, peace on earth, goodwill toward men, which there's nothing wrong with that statement, right? I mean, peace on earth is that's something that, everybody, wants. It's not going to happen ever because it's unfeasible, but it's something that everyone should want. But I mean, if you want to achieve peace on earth and everyone, be happy with each other and, everyone, all the ideas can coexist together, it don't work because everyone's different. And if you have different opinions than somebody else, especially on the internet, then you are going to be savage and brutal and be mean and troll and say, I hope your players get hurt, or I hope all your people die on a plane crash, and I hope you fall.
Yeah.
All these other type of stuff that people say, and that's not peace on earth. And it's not going to be peace on earth. So all these people that want peace on earth, maybe stop telling people you want them dead. Maybe that would actually help. Maybe that would be a good starting point. If we stop wanting people dead, I'm not saying everybody wants people dead, but there's a significant part of the population on this earth that want a significant part of the population on the earth dead.
Oh, yeah.
Reasons. And that's not a good thing.
No.
Like, you should not want people to die, and you should not want people to get hurt and sick and all these other things just because you disagree with them.
Right.
It's not how that should work.
We create us versus them too. Like fan bases, political parties, like all this kind of stuff. Like, it's, and the crazy thing is that you're completely right, and it always has been this way. But it used to be like based on like national borders or religion or whatever, and now we see it within our own country. And like, sports are a prime example of like a bad thing that you see, like a bad thing in our culture, I'd say, because it used to be that like sports were like a healthy way it used to be that sports were a healthy way to have like differences, but still like, play it out on the field and may the best team win and all that stuff. But now it's just like it's a microcosm of like how we act as a society now, like where people you can't even be civil about sports. Like, seriously, like, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, and the thing is at the end of the day, does it matter? Like, does sports really matter? Not really. I mean, I know that sounds blasphemous considering, all of us are here talking sports and we love doing it. I mean, I love doing it. That's why we're here. I mean, Jackson, Alabama Voice College Football, we love talking about sports. But at the end of the day, sports is not even close to one of the most important things in this world, in this life. It's not. It's pastime. It's supposed to be, enjoyment, to get away from your work and all this kind of stuff. It's supposed to be for fun on the weekends, but
or to get away from
because
pressure at home.
Yeah, stress.
Or whatever,
but now it has become filled with money and dollars, and it always has had that, but now to the point where it's so
in your face
as an institution that it's the way that it is, and it's only going to go further from here. I mean, players making millions of dollars, coaches making millions of dollars, coaches getting fired and they're getting given millions of dollars. It's a big deal. It's a big money maker. I mean, literally, a lot of the states in this country, the most richest person in the state, public person in the state is a football coach.
It's every state.
Insane.
Well, every state is either a football coach. There's a handful that are basketball coaches, and I think there's one or two that's hockey. I think that's like North Dakota or Vermont or Maine or something. There's a couple. I think there were at least a couple that were hockey.
And I'm not saying that's wrong, but at the same time, I'm just saying that shows you how sports, how important it's become. Like, it's enveloped society. It matters so much. It's worth so much that's why it's become what it is now.
Well,
and for a lot of people, like people that have betting problems, they bet their money away on sports. Like, sports has become more important than family and other things in life that should matter more.
And it fuels a lot of this, and it feeds into it too. Like, supposedly with the Brian Kelly situation, there was a bunch of weird stuff going on with the government there too. Like in Louisiana, I don't know exactly what was going on, but I heard something that there was a political like reason or something that was going on.
See, that is mixing sports and politics together.
Yeah, funding, but
even if you're not intentionally trying to do it, I mean, I don't care about the political angle of all that, but like I said on my channel about a week ago or whenever it was, the fact that the LSU governor is involved with LSU's coaching search is kind of messed up.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that it would be, though, when it is such a big part of the state's economy, especially.
Is that a good thing or not? That's
no,
part of your state's economy, though. I mean, again, that's not a political issue. That's just economics. I know that people say economics is political. I don't know. Every issue can be political at this point.
It wouldn't happen in a
slipping on a banana peel is political.
It wouldn't happen in a state that had like a really, really large economy. You know what I mean? But like the reality is that Louisiana is a relatively small economic state, and things like that impact it. But
Mardi Gras and New Orleans and stuff like that is like some of their big tourist selling thing, like
they always have the ladies that look like Carmen and Miranda doing the little dance with the fruit on their heads.
But, I don't know. It is kind of a misnomer when you talk about the state employee being the highest paid public official or whatever you would consider it. And in each state, it's a little bit misleading, because if you look at like Sharon Moore would be like that in Michigan. But if you look at like the University of Michigan, yes, it's a public institution, but like it's largely privately funded.
Yeah.
So like, are the tax dollars actually paying for Sharon Moore? A little bit, maybe, but like not really. It's like big money boosters and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it's the university's money that's paying for it. It's not actually. And that's
that's a good thing.
Degrees. Yeah, exactly. But once again, you go to other states, like the smaller the economy in the state, the more impact it's going to have. So the more of an issue it would be. And it would go university by university. So Michigan's kind of an outlier, and that I would point at Michigan because they are like basically a public Ivy, and it's a very rich school. So like, if people are pointing at Michigan and say, "Oh, why are you giving this that?" It's like, no, you're actually not really paying for it much at all if you are. So, but there are places that maybe is a little bit different, and you are paying more than you should. And then at that point, it's like you have the right, I guess, like people would see it as like to want this person's head on a whatever, like but. I don't know. I would never get like that. Like I said, I like sports, but I like it for the reasons that people always did. It's like the original reality TV, original escapism. You know what I mean? Where you can leave your problems and worries aside for a few hours each week and enjoy it, and have a way to have differences with people and not have to make it about things that are, defining you as a person, where you can just say, hey, I'm an Ohio State fan, you're an Indiana fan, let's hate each other for 3 hours, but then afterwards let's talk about it and let's have a beer together, or whatever. That's the way that I would always be. That's the way I was raised, and but unfortunately a lot of people aren't like that, so it's just a unfortunate reality of the world we live in now, at least our culture. People
Well,
can't.
I was gonna say Stephen Cherry mentioned the chat where he said the chat has taken a 360-degree turn. All we're missing are like the teacups of tea and the one-eye monocles that you see like Mr. Monopoly Man wearing.
Hogan's Heroes.
The Monopoly Man doesn't have a monocle, Jackson. That's a Mandela effect.
It's Hogan's Heroes.
The Monopoly Man doesn't. He never had a monocle. Like, you might remember that he did, but he never did.
Yeah, it's like the Berenstain Bears thing with the spelling.
Yeah.
Like people will say the same thing. It's like, I mean, okay, I don't know. I mean, it has taken a 360-degree turn. But I feel like we handled where it went gracefully, though.
We brought it back full circle.
Yeah, I mean, like it was getting a little like, are we all right? We're okay, but it was a little, but we're good. I mean, we did it. I mean, I don't know why people can't talk about stuff, and not just want to go at each other's throats all the time. Though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I don't understand. Like sports, like just talk about something, man. Oh, I don't think Indiana's the best team in college football. Well, great. I don't either. I don't think they're the best team in college football. But like, let's not go crazy about it. Just if someone thinks that they are. I mean, I don't know, man. Like it's okay. It's gonna be all right. I like what you said, Hummus. I think I agree. I agree with everything you said. Reeling it all back in. I started the show going a little crazy and all that, but I mean, I'm not hating on the people I like, even people that I don't know that are reasonable. Like you guys are all great. You guys are amazing. I like you guys a lot, and it's all good. Like you guys are Ohio State fans, and like Steven, like I said, he always pushes the right buttons on me, and I love it. It's amazing. I think it's great. Love the back and forth, but I just felt like I just wanted to get it out of my system. The amount of Ohio State fans are just going crazy today. But at the end of the day, I know, like you said, there's a lot of great Ohio State fans out there, including Sean Garner, who's joined the show as well. There's a lot of great fans out there. That's what matters. But sometimes it can get frustrating sometimes, but it's all good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did talk a lot. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Sean.
How's it going, Jackson? Jeffrey? Hummus?
Doing great, Sean. How about you?
Lovely. Another butt whooping over poor state of Indiana school.
Oh man, but
poor Purdue.
Hopefully, it won't be our last Indiana butt whooping this season. But
before we get to
already coming in, okay.
Before Jeffrey gives his next take on each of the games in the world of college football for Week 10. If you would like to come on in for Only Talk Sports, where you can get where Jeffrey talks about sports every single day, or at least he tries to, come on in and like, comment, subscribe to Only Talk Sports, all right here on Only Talk Sports on YouTube, on Rumble, and also give him a follow on @/Twitter, and let's push for him to get to Instagram. Hey, one of these days that will happen. We'll push for it, but also check him out on Alabama with the Voice College Football on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays after every game, where he talks about Alabama football all on there, or at least he tries to, on Alabama with the Voice College Football on the live show, Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. The call-in show, 10 p.m. Eastern. And on the postgame show, including tonight's edition of the Alabama LSU postgame show from yours truly, Travion Ware, and the man himself, Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports. All right there.
Appreciate the promo, Jackson. Nobody does it better. And my perfect segue for that, the ACC sucks. I think we can say that and all agree that the ACC sucks. Yes, I feel bad for our friend Austin and his Louisville Cardinals, but they're not good.
Why?
Virginia's not good. They're all bad.
Did Louisville lose tonight?
Yes, they
They
lost
did.
to Cal and OT.
Jaron Kiwi Saga Pulitila threw that game-winning touchdown.
I think his last name is Saga Politele. I think.
Yep.
I almost called it Snagglepuss.
Yeah, that was on fourth down too. They went for it on fourth down to win the game from like the 3-yard line. Got it.
Can we?
I mean, I will say with Louisville, for Austin's sake, is that they're not an awful team. In hindsight, but they're still not great, man. Nobody in the ACC is worthy of being in the playoffs. Not one team. Now there's not one team in that conference that deserves to be in.
This definitely.
I think Miami at their best can win a game or two.
Yeah, sure. Miami at their best, but they never are.
Here's the thing about Miami, Sean. Like, and we've seen this season. We've seen it all over with Mario Cristobal his whole career. When everybody is watching Mario Cristobal teams on Big Noon Kickoff and with Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, and the dog calling the game, or you got Sean McDonough calling, and you got like 150,000 fans at your game. Mario Cristobal teams win those big games, but it's the games that no one's caring about, for example.
Why do they always do that, Jackson?
Because that's just Mario Cristobal for you. They do that all the time. It's like it drives me nuts. Like
Miami should be undefeated. Like there's no reason on planet Earth that Miami should have lost to SMU and Louisville.
No, they shouldn't.
Because they're Miami.
If everyone was watching Miami SMU, I guarantee you Miami wouldn't have lost. If everyone
the Louisville game, though, I will just slightly disagree with that. Because
I could see that,
Jackson, but that was a Friday night game against Louisville on ESPN. I feel like people were watching that game.
Yeah,
and they still blew that. So, hey, come on, Steven. Only reason I'm lobbying for Notre Dame, and you know it, is because I want my good friend Will Indeed to keep his $500. Other than that, I don't care.
Well. Here's the thing, Jeffrey.
But Miami does suck.
Hold on. Like,
empathy for Caden and his $500.
No, Caden's gonna pay up his $500 if Notre Dame goes 10-2. The bet was never stated that Notre Dame had to be in the playoff at 10-2. The bet was, if Notre Dame was finishing at 9-3, then Will has to pay $500 to Caden. But if it's 10-2, 11-1, or unbeaten, then Caden has to pay Will $500.
That's it. I thought if I recall that if it was whether they made the playoffs or not, and if they the playoffs, then Caden was gonna have to show his face. That's what Will said.
That's right.
Face. But see, the thing is, he's already shown his face. I even told Will, like, that's not even a good bet there, man. Like, he's already shown his face before.
Yep.
Like, you didn't get anything crazy in return. So yeah, I told Will it was a bad bet. But I mean, as long as he wins, if he doesn't win, keeps his $500, he's all right. That's why I've been lobbying for Notre Dame. I'm not a Notre Dame.
How about mate Caden?
I've never been a Notre Dame stan. I never will be a Notre Dame stan. I've just been going for Notre Dame for Will because I don't want to lose $500 to Kate. Still wouldn't have made that bet. That's me. But I mean, Notre Dame is in prime position to make the playoffs. All they got to do is win out, because they will make the playoffs if they win out. So,
I know. And do they have any serious hurdles left?
At Pitt. That's it. At Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that game is.
If you count that as a serious hurdle, I mean, that is a game that they could lose.
Well, when you go, Pitt is usually where dreams go to die, especially with Mason.
It's gone a lot better because they changed QBs.
Yep. And
I think Notre Dame makes the playoffs, and I think they're probably going to be pretty dangerous in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, Love is insane, and Price is pretty darn good too. It's just whoever they match up with, can they stop the run?
Right.
Well,
If you stop the run, you're going to beat them.
I think they got some defensive vulnerabilities too. I mean, Miami and Texas A&M clearly exposed. They haven't played anybody.
I think they've shirted up a good amount, but sometimes those things come back. They also maybe haven't played the level of passing attacks that they will see again in the playoffs. So
they did good against Navy on defense, and they did good against Arkansas on defense. But then they gave up.
Arkansas has a good offense. Their defense is pathetic, terrible, but they do have a good.
Notre Dame's had good defensive performances this year, but they've also had some really bad defensive performances, so they're not consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
True that.
Even against USC, I thought their defense was pretty good in that game.
Oh, I was so happy to see Notre Dame put USC in their place that night.
Will the Big Ten get 4 teams in? Says Steven. Well, I mean, obviously Ohio State.
If Michigan,
as long as Indiana doesn't lose somehow to Wisconsin and Purdue, then Indiana. Oregon is in great shape.
USC is kind of the only there is the potential that I don't even want to mention that could get
Michigan.
I don't even want to mention the 4th potential, but and I think it's less likely. But we thought that was less likely the last year for sure, and they did what we didn't think they could do. But let's just set that one aside. USC would have to beat. They still have Iowa and Oregon. I think
if USC wins out, they would get in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Oregon can withstand a loss to USC if it's a close game and still get in at 10-2. I think that Oregon's probably going to get a good little boost this week. BYU lost; they're gonna leapfrog BYU for sure, and they just got a win over a committee top 20 ranked team. So
the committee might not even drop Iowa out of the top 25.
Maybe not.
So
probably leave them in.
So So BYU can still wrestle their way back in.
Well, yeah, all they really have to do is clinch a spot in the Big 12 title, win the Big 12 they're in. I mean, the Big 12 basically
Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12.
The Big 12 can get 2 teams. The committee's already shown that they're valuing even before this week. The committee, we always think these people are fools, but they knew what was up. They had the ACC teams ranked lower than, wasn't Utah? I think Utah was.
Utah's higher than Virginia.
Yeah, Utah was the highest ranked second 2-loss team, and higher with 2 losses than some of the 1-loss teams. So I think the Big 12 can get 2 teams on. I think they're setting it up for the potential of that. The Big 12 has a chance to get 2 teams on.
They probably would have liked it if BYU barely lost that game then, because that would have helped.
And a big wrinkle in that is that a lot of the SEC teams, they don't really play. The top SEC teams aren't necessarily going to knock each other out through the last couple weeks. So the teams that are in the top 15, they don't really run into each other the rest of the season.
There's a lot to shake out this year. Last year, I think at this point, I don't remember exactly, but last year, I think at this point, we weren't questioning as much where the bids are coming from. I mean, you could definitely see a scenario this year where the SEC gets 5, the Big 12 gets 2, then the Big 10, I think, will get at least 3, but there is a potential where the Big 10 kind of implodes and only gets 2. I think if Oregon was to lose to Washington, because now Washington lost tonight, so that's going to not be quote unquote.
Yeah, Washington and Iowa are both done.
Quality loss as much.
The Big 10 that Washington lost, it hurts the Big 10. Probably Iowa lost because you would have left Iowa in the hunt if they had a 1.
Yep.
I mean, it's probably you can look at it that's better than Oregon won, but you could go either way on that.
Oregon would have been basically dead, wouldn't they, at this point?
If Oregon had lost this game and then they went out, they would still get in. I'm saying that was eliminated. So now you're basically hinging everything on USC and Michigan being your fourth team. And now you just got to hope Oregon doesn't choke the rest of the way. I mean, if you're wanting Big Ten representation, is what I'm saying.
I mean, if Michigan loses one more, they have no chance. They don't have
if they win out, they get in. If USC wins out, they get in. But if either team loses again, they're done. Just like Iowa, Washington.
Oh, if USC and Michigan are both at 10-2, that's gonna be.
Well, then you got the scenario of possibly 5.
Yeah, there's a potential.
Well, I mean, Michigan's not leapfrogging USC under any circumstances.
No, but if they went out, they could still possibly make the playoffs, is what I'm saying.
There's
if USC and Michigan went out, they both could make the playoffs. And then you would have Ohio State in, Indiana in, Oregon probably in with 2 losses, USC in, and Michigan. That's your best case scenario for the amount of Big Ten teams getting in. It's a scenario that probably is not going to occur, but that is the most possible teams that the Big Ten could get. It's 5.
If that happens and the SEC shakes out, where there's like 4 or 5 10-2 or above, we could see a few 10-2 teams left out. Yeah. I said earlier in the year that like it was a de facto lock if you were 10-2 in the SEC or Big Ten, like basically no matter what, that you were going to get in this season. But it might not be the case. It probably
isn't going to happen though, because if Michigan loses to Ohio State and USC loses to Oregon, right, and then some of the SEC teams do end up losing, like Texas loses again,
right?
Because that's ultimately what's got to happen, right? Like because Texas plays, because Texas has 2 losses and they play.
They got to go to Georgia,
Texas A&M. So Texas is that one team that could either boost themselves in or they could completely finish themselves. Like teams are going to eliminate themselves, and it probably is not going to come down to that point, Hummus, where a 10-2 team is left out. But to your point, if all the results go the way of these 2-loss teams winning, like Michigan, USC, and Texas, then you could have a scenario like that. But at the end of the day, there's probably going to be enough teams that lose another game and have 3 losses where you're going to have all the 2-loss teams in.
Like Texas, like going, winning out the rest away, that would be an interesting discussion because, Texas would have a head-to-head win over Texas A&M.
Oh, Texas.
And they got who gets in the SEC title between Texas and Ole Miss, assuming that Ole Miss is 11-1 the rest of the way. And y'all already
got a point differential thing.
That
Ole Miss is really easy scheduled the rest of the way, though, don't they? Don't they just have like South Carolina and Ole State?
Yeah, but I do
Ole Miss should make the playoffs, but Lane Kiffin's teams have choked the bad teams before. They've almost already done it this year several times, so it's not a given.
But Lane Kiffin's never had a quarterback from Grand Rapids, Michigan before, so
no.
So I mean, he's never had that Forest Hills Northern high school Fair State magic in his back pocket.
But yes, speaking of SEC teams still in the playoff hunt, Vandy dodged a bullet against Auburn, and Auburn yet again, Auburn blows a shot at victory against another top 25 team. They did.
Yet again, Auburn, another example of a team that fired their coach and they played better. It just keeps happening. I mean, it's almost sad, like that you fire your coach and then your team just suddenly plays so much better. I mean, it was just that bad, man. Were they that freaking bad? They must have been.
I think Auburn.
It's the old political science theory, the rally around the flag effect.
Oh God.
Here, it's
well, on the bright side for Hugh Freeze,
emotional support.
Oh yeah, like you said, the players played. Oh, go ahead, Hummus.
The scoreboard, like points scored for Auburn's better, but the defense didn't play any better. I know Vandy has a good offense, but the reality is that a lot of Auburn's losses this year were close. they were just close where it was like 14-10 or whatever it might have been. But like I don't know. Auburn's been competitive in almost every game they played in.
Yeah, they almost beat them.
So I don't know.
That's what they do. They keep games close, but they lose. They don't win.
I think it was just the same thing. It was just it looked different. It felt maybe different a little bit, but it was the same thing. Like in reality, it wasn't actually any different. So must be terrible to be an Auburn fan. My goodness.
James Scott, Oregon State fired their head coach, and they lost to 0-8 Sam Houston State tonight. Well, didn't they beat Washington State though?
Yeah.
So they beat Washington State after they fired their coach. So I mean, but they temporarily played a little better.
Well, that and it's so. I've been like making this joke on Alabama with the Voice College Football, where basically the Auburn way is when you retire or get fired, you basically go into politics to kind of say, just to kind of boost any relevancy you have left.
Yeah, well, that's about all you're gonna probably boost is relevancy.
Oh yeah, Hugh Freeze will probably go into the Senate race for Mississippi for 2030, or probably try a governor run for Mississippi, and he'll probably be getting all the payphones he can get, so he can call those hookers like he was at Ole Miss. But it's taxpayer funded in his case. They'll be like, taxpayers have it. Taxpayers.
Phone up the Falwells. They can provide the campaign.
You got Sean choked up, Jackson.
That's what he Freeze will be doing that. It'll be like, there, yeah, and like I could see it now where it's like, join us now is Hugh Freeze, just to let us know that he did not call that hooker on the school payphone. Oh well, that was just the media saying that. Like I was not calling her honey babe, I swear. And that was Hugh Freeze with us. Like I could see that being a headline in 2030. Like I don't know why, but it will be.
Oh, we got a lot to look forward to, Jackson, don't we?
And Bruce Pearl, who knows with him? Like Stephen Pearl gonna get his ass whipped by that Bama basketball team.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Bruce Pearl be like, anyway, back to my Fox News interview.
Jackson is on a heater tonight. My goodness.
Hey, I mean, like
it's like after dark, man.
I'm just talking that shit.
That is great.
Oh man, but great win for Vandy though. Oh man, we didn't get to talk about that big finish at Oregon, Iowa. Like, I don't know if you saw it, Jeffrey, but like Mark Gronowski, impressive touchdown, 4th and goal, but my God, that game-winning drive by Dante Moore.
Still wasn't as good as Mendoza's, but still, it was a great drive by Oregon, and that throw that Dante Moore made, where he snuck it in there, that was a great throw. It was not the best day, but it was definitely a top 5 play of the day. It was fantastic. Too bad for Iowa that they couldn't get the 2-point conversion. Dude caught the ball, he was just out of bounds. So, off the tip pass.
Well, I mean, the conditions
this game.
The conditions really hurt him there, because I think if that was, I mean, if it wasn't so slippery, he would have gotten that off foot end in that spot. But yeah, he kind of like brought one down and it just slid out of bounds. Yeah, so just rough conditions.
Shane, I just feel bad for Iowa. I don't usually feel bad for Iowa ever, but I do feel a little bad for Iowa because they played good in this game. They did play well. And even though their team is still very boring to watch overall, like Gronowski's in the offense is just better. It's just slightly more respectable than it's been. Like they're not awful. But yeah, Oregon. yeah, just barely squeaking that out, man.
Oregon's run game looked really dominant. That was pretty impressive. They ran for like 7.3 or maybe even more against Iowa, and Iowa always has a pretty good rush defense. So I was
Dante Moore was not great outside that last drive.
I went on quacking off, and what I told him was, or just in the chat, but what I told him is Iowa effectively drug Oregon into the mud, but they found out that Oregon, they're actually some pretty tough mutter duckers. I know that was corny.
We got Stephen Cherry going, oh boy, again.
Oh, there we go. Quack, quack, quacking off. Quack, quack, quacking off. Fast sits all day and quacks off and spends his time quacking off. Everyone loves quacking off. Quack, quacking off.
I can tell that Jackson has heard this probably about 100 times, so he's got that theme song and it's stuck in his head, man.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. Hey, you did good though with it. You did good.
Oh, thanks. Oh man. Oh man. And Luke Fickle was the vote.
Oh, that vote of confidence, man.
That was a boost, no doubt about it.
Dude, Washington play like trash, though. I know the weather and all that, man. But man, like, how? How do you? Wisconsin's been trash. Like they've been dead.
Well, they played a little better against Oregon, though. Actually, I mean they at least kept it looking more respectable. I don't know. Washington's a terrible team on the road. Washington's good at home and terrible on the road.
Yeah, they are. I mean, because that game at Maryland they should have lost, but they somehow won. And then at Michigan they got destroyed. So yeah, I agree with that.
So one thing I have to say is no team from Seattle should ever have to complain about playing in the rain. Like, I mean, like,
well, that's the other thing too, though, is I heard a story where Jed Fish's wife is sick and tired of having to live in Seattle. So that makes me wonder if we're going to see Jed Fish be the next head coach of Florida. Because number one,
we've been talking about Jed Fish to Florida for 2 years.
I feel like that's going to happen because it's like, number one, his wife is sick and tired of having to be in Seattle. Number two, Florida's his alma mater. So.
You get a new wife if she's sick and tired of Seattle. Come on. Seattle's a great city, man. Seattle's great. Come on, go to the fish market right here.
You got to get a new wife. Oh, my God. If he gets the Florida job, though, he can still keep his place up in Seattle and go visit every now and then, man. Like, he can still keep it. Have enough money. Oh, man.
So, you would know.
Oh, well, she's a bombshell. Damn.
The most
you got
amazing
Jackson
stuff.
looking up Jed Fish's wife. Oh, boy. You got the pics, man. Like bring them on here, man.
Here we go. I will. Yeah.
The show's already off the rails. It's what we do on these Saturday night streams.
Or at least we tried to. Oh, this from 2017.
All right, there we go. Remove. There we go.
Oh man.
Is Jed Fish like is that a natural shade of human right there? Jed Fish. I mean, what is that? What kind of tan is that?
I don't know, man.
Holy crap. Look at the contrast.
That's a Florida man tan. He needs to go back.
Has he lost it in Washington? I haven't even paid attention.
Yeah. Can we get like a contemporary, like within the last month or so, photo of Jed Fish and compare it to this?
And what's he looking like these days, man?
Compare it to this copper tone ad right here.
Oh, God.
I'm guessing Sean doesn't like the sun. You not like
hey,
the
man,
sun, Sean? You prefer the rain, right?
I'm Irish English ancestry. My last name's Garner. It's good. So,
Yeah, I'm looking at like a post where he said like this is a 2025 post where he says she's 40 fine. Well, okay, she's MILF material then. Okay.
I thought you were saying she's 45. Like, better not be saying he's got to get a younger model like Bill Belichick or something, man. I was like, you better not be saying that, man. You better not be saying that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't care.
I mean, it's so hard to take Bill seriously, man. It really is. Like, hey, they're 4 and 5 now. People like Bill. Oh man. So question again, Jeff Fish, has he lost the tan, Jackson? Have you found has he lost the tan?
Let's see. Looks
We
like
gotta
he
know.
has.
It's sad that I don't know what he looks like right now, but
I got a 2025 pick from
I don't really know, man.
I've seen plenty of him this year. I have never seen him like being like jarringly. Yeah, there it is. That's a normal human being right there.
Yeah, he's become normal.
Yes.
Do you think everything in that photo is natural though? Normal?
No.
James Scott said he's got another 20 years to catch old Bill before he targets
He's got good taste.
friend in that age bracket.
I will say Jeff Fish has good taste, that's for sure.
Yeah, she looks relatively classy.
There you go.
So before we get off this,
you meant that seriously, right, Hummus? Did you mean that seriously?
Yeah, seriously. That's why I said relatively, though. You gotta always leave that little margin for,
Yeah, margin for error, margin of the unknown.
Oh God. Oh man.
Has it taken another 360, Steven? The chat is it 360?
Oh man.
So I before we get off this Washington Wisconsin bent, I want to note like one just supreme statistical oddity in this game. Wisconsin's leading passer in this game
Punter.
was their kicker, right?
Punter or the kicker or whatever. He was 1-1 for 24 yards. I saw that. Yeah. And the starting quarterback was 3 of 12 for 8 yards. They won a game with their starting quarterback having 8 yards. How?
They played 3 different quarterbacks in this game. There were 3 different quarterbacks that got reps, and their leading passer was their kicker.
That's like a stat line from like 1932.
Yeah, like Washington football and Wisconsin set football back over 50 years. I mean, the fact Washington lost this game as a top 25 ranked team, and you're opposing the opponent starting quarterback has 8 passing yards. 8 in the game, and you lose in 2025. I did see that, Sean. We were talking about Jed Fishman and whether he was an alien or not or something. I was just forgot to mention that when you said the stat line. That's why I didn't mean to jump you, but I was like, I saw that. I was like 3 of 12 for 8 yards. Washington, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, does Florida even want you anymore, Jed Fish? Does Florida even want you anymore? How do you do that? I don't care how is on the road. How they beat Maryland?
You lose to a quarterback that throws for 8 yards. Nothing wants him. Yeah. Go ahead and deal with it.
48 total passing yards and 6 of 18 completed passes.
And 24 of them was from the kicker or the punter. Like, the fact that Fickle won that game is some highway robbery, man. That is crazy. Oh my God.
But that alone right there shows you why they gave him another year this year. It's like, hey, we lost our court. We had no quarterbacks legitimately this year. We he just didn't have a fighting chance.
Dude, Wisconsin in the transfer portal, man, they're gonna be looking for quarterbacks, man. They're gonna be like, "Are you made of like titanium or something, man? Like your
Go get Hal's
bones made
quarterback.
out of steel. Like, are you gonna live, man? Because like every year, man, lately Wisconsin's quarterbacks they lose them all.
Oh,
No,
God.
they're just going to come over to Ferris State here and get the next guy. There's another one up here who's lighting it up this year. So
Yeah, get the next Trinidad Chambliss, man.
yeah.
Oh man, dude. I mean, Luke Fickell, man. I mean, just bad luck with QB. That's all I'm saying. Just bad luck. Like, you can't get much worse than that.
I actually don't think it's crazy that they're going to keep Fickle around for another year because of the quarterback injuries, and also let's be real, like Wisconsin has had a brutal schedule. Like I think they were last I saw they were like either first or second in strength of schedule nationally. Them in Florida. So like, I mean, they were kind of
the toughest Big Ten schedule. Plus they played Alabama out of conference. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of not smart to play Alabama when you're, not 2010 Wisconsin. Terrible.
Oh man.
Or 80s, 90s Wisconsin. When they were good, they're not good anymore. I mean, like I understand people respect non-conference games, but games like that do not help teams like Wisconsin. If they had another bad game and instead of being 3-6 right now, they'd be 4-5. It just doesn't help when you're playing. Right. Alabama, you're going to get murdered.
Wisconsin probably should have traded with Indiana. Just be like, you know what? We'll give you our Alabama game and take one of your cupcakes.
I'm okay. I don't want Alabama. Indiana, Alabama do not play. I don't want.
Yeah. No. Can you throw us a Western Illinois or an Old Dominion or somebody?
Yeah, there you go.
They would probably lose to Old Dominion this year, honestly. Wisconsin,
especially early in the season.
Yeah.
But if it continues next year, their schedule won't be as bad. And if he doesn't get it going in the right direction next year, if it's a losing season, they need to go at least probably 6-6, but probably 7-5. He's going to be out.
The thing is, Hummus and Sean and Jackson, when it comes to Wisconsin's like financial support, though, it just doesn't seem like it's there to me. Like, it doesn't seem like they're really doing all that good bringing in guys, man. Like if they get rid of Fickell, is it going to be a deal where they're like claiming like Virginia Tech, where they're going to support the next guy? I mean, is Franklin a done deal, man? Like, what's going on, Virginia Tech? I'm confused. Like, I thought they had I don't know what's going on. But if they do land him, they do all the $240 million over the next 5 years thing that they said they were going to do. Is that what Wisconsin's going to do? Are they going to commit to football again? Are they going to try to win in this era? Because it seems like they're way behind.
Man. Oh, Lord.
Well, it's not the easiest place to recruit to either.
Ooh.
I hope they didn't have any recruits at the game tonight, like seeing that sleety, frozen drizzle, whatever it was, coming down. It's not like...
Oh man, West Virginia is still alive for bowling.
Madison's the cool. Like that's like one of the best college towns in America, though. I mean, like the experience of going to UWM there. I mean, that is.
Well, yeah, you get to jump around. You get to jump around.
There's a lot more than just that, but that is one of them.
Yeah.
Note to self: if I ever go to a Wisconsin game and I do the jump around, I
would move to Wisconsin than to Minnesota or to Iowa. To be honest, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Yeah, I was just saying, note to self: if I ever go to a Wisconsin home game, which I probably will sometime in my lifetime, when they do the jump around, make sure I have my hat like this. Especially when dancing to it. Hey, that's how Robin Williams and Miss Doubtfire did it.
Oh man, yeah, you got to make sure you got the Wisconsin sweatshirt too, man.
Oh, you know I will, good buddy. You know I will.
I think that song is about as old as the Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit older than Miss Doubtfire, but that's
I
all
still
right.
laugh at Mr. Brightside in Michigan. I don't you can't even defend that. You can't even defend that, man. Like is about cheating. Like, do you even care? Yeah, you know that you're gonna get blasted by people, specifically of the Buckeye community. Like it's over, man. Like you're not winning that. Like, oh yeah, it's a great pop punk song from the 2000s that every single person on the planet seems to know how to sing, but at the same time, it's like it just doesn't really fit your image right now, Michigan.
Man, it was so funny. I laughed my ass off when I was watching the 10-hour breaking news stream on the Michigan channel. Like, especially the start of the show when John was like, because I never hear John using the F-bomb, but when he does, he was like, and where's that fucking hammer? Like, I loved it. I loved it. It was so funny, man.
I love how they turned it into the biggest joke on the planet because it was. I mean, Indiana got gutted for phone calls in basketball in 2008 with Kelvin Sampson. Michigan gets nothing. Oh, it's like Harbaugh, man. He's banned from coaching. He's not coming back. It don't matter, man.
Like,
who cares? Oh man, I don't know, dude. It's like they know that it went great for them. So it was just I don't know. Man.
Oh man, like the debates throughout that whole situation were wild. They were so wild, but yeah, that's another time for another day.
Nothing beats like Enter Sandman, Virginia Tech, and like I won't back down Florida, even though Florida's trash in football. But like won't back down Tom Petty, that's great. But Mr. Brightside needs to be retired at Michigan ASAP. That needs to go away.
It just never should have been introduced anyway because that's not a good pump-up song in any way whatsoever. Like it's
only good for like millennial and like Gen Z of the female variety. That's like the perfect song for them, I guess.
I like the Killers.
Right in that assessment.
I like the Killers. The Killers are great. I've actually seen them in concert before, but it's a great concert. They put on a good show.
But is it a more like that's more female audience, right?
The Killers?
No.
Yeah.
No.
The Killers.
No.
I mean, I don't honestly know like what people like, man.
No, but honestly, and I like the Killers too, like hummus. But that is not one of my favorite songs, and that is not like an anthem song. I don't think at all.
No,
it's just a famous song.
No, it's not my favorite Killer songs, but the Killers are definitely more of just like men and women probably equal.
I know is when they were showing the Michigan broadcast of them singing that song, it just seemed like all of the females in the crowd were singing it louder than the dudes. But I don't know if that's a fact or not. I mean, I'm not hating. I think Mr. Brightside is 10 times better than Taylor Swift music. But it's still like whatever. It's okay, you know. I mean, I know what you mean though about someone's most famous song not being the best song, right? Like everybody knows Smoke on the Water. Deep Purple's got other good songs besides Smoke on the Water.
I don't know.
Highway Star is good. Burn's good. Perfect Strangers is good.
Even if it was a good song, like Jump Around, House of Pain, Jump Around, like that evokes like a real energy, like a real like. I mean, you know the emotion to feel when you feel it, and it's just like pure raucous energy. Yeah. Mr. Brightside, not that at all.
It's not. It doesn't.
They should replace it with Mr. Blue Sky.
Yellow.
Mr. Blue Sky, Yellow.
Oh but, man, I had a great time hearing that song from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and in May.
Hey,
of
didn't they
20
play Mr. Blue Sky in the Mario movie?
I'm not sure, but I
At
know
the
I
end of the
heard it
movie.
on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when I saw the beginning where Baby Groot was dancing.
Do you think I Won't Back Down at Florida is good, Sean? Because of the low, like he was from Gainesville, like just for that alone, or do you think it's still as good to play between the third and fourth quarter?
Well, I think I Won't Back Down is a. I mean, I think it's a great song. I love it, and it's got that. I love it at Florida because Tom Petty is a Gainesville guy. Like he's literally
Works.
from right there, and it's. I mean, but I don't know. Like if you're up like 52-3 going into third or fourth quarter, I won't back down. Like, no, please back down.
It's a good
Please.
one.
No.
It's fitting like that, but the thing
Oh,
about
what about they're down 60-0? They're not backing down, man. They're not backing down. But I mean,
I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
God.
okay, then you're going to get smashed against the wall here.
yeah.
Michigan
I mean, I just
should
like the
have
song. I mean, unfortunately, my liking or disliking of a song for a team and like a university is whether I like the song or not. I like Tom Petty, so I like the song.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the greatest song ever for that. I think it's a good song. I think Enter Sandman is great. Like I said at Virginia Tech. I think stuff like that is great. There's just some songs I don't necessarily like. I guess it's more of a personal taste thing.
They should find
Oh,
something that's fitting. Not only fitting as a stadium anthem, but culturally. So like the Michigan Michigan, they should try to find a White Stripes song. Like Jack White's a Detroit native. Plenty of great White Stripes. Obviously, everybody uses seventh, but they could use Nicky Thump or something different. You know what I mean?
There are so many great musicians that came out of the Detroit area. I mean, like you could go endlessly. Like, you go to MC5, like kick out jams.
I got a perfect.
Illinois could play an REO Speedwagon song. They could play like Rod the Storm Out or something.
Why doesn't Miami play Margaritaville? That'd be good.
Aretha Franklin songs at Michigan. Like, I mean, like why the hell are you choosing a Las Vegas band?
The thing with the Killers is they should be Brandon Flowers, the Killers lead guy, is a big Mormon. Like he's vocal about his faith. They should be using a Killers song at BYU.
Yeah, there you go. That would make a lot more sense.
I don't know. It's interesting though. Ohio State, they've been trying to do it in the stadium because everybody wants to do this now. And they got some band called Camp. And the song says Ohio and the song, but it's like completely, once again, it's terrible for a stadium anthem.
Yes.
And the Black Keys, who's a band from Ohio, I think they're from Akron, maybe.
Akron.
They're from Ohio. And they have a song, I think it might be called Ohio, but it's like perfect because if you know the Black Keys, like kind of harder, a lot of their stuff, and it's perfect for.
It's perfect. It would be perfect. Like, I mean, you know.
Song idea for 80s paying people out make his pockets hurt.
Yeah, just like every time you gotta pay like a $40 million buyout to the head coach, you hear that little Kale chick go, make his pockets hurt.
Yeah, that would make my head just completely spin if I had to listen to that. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Jackson. Better song in the air tonight, Phil Collins.
I think Jackson might be spending a little too much time on TikTok.
Literally, Jackson, I know he likes country music, but then he's just naming Lil Kayla out here, man. Like I'm vibing with the Phil Collins, man.
I heard that song randomly on like a YouTube short. Like somebody was like playing that like randomly. I don't even know what. And something like I always do is when I hear a song I've never heard of before, I always like just go on the searching spree for it. Just be like, what are the lyrics? What are songs like? Oh, there we go. Gets stuck in my head for 2 weeks, then I find the next song that gets stuck in my head. Like the quacking off song.
Whacking off.
Oh man.
There's so many songs out there that people could use. I mean, again, even of genres I don't care for, that would make sense though for a university if everyone wants to go in that direction. But it's got to make sense. You know, some of these places just don't make any sense. Like some of these songs that they're starting to play. I mean, like everyone plays like Thunderstruck, right? Or like stuff like that, or Living on a Prayer. But like you can't that's not can't be like your song, right? Like if you're gonna pick a song, it's got to be kind of a little more niche for like your area that no other stadium would play. You know, that kind of makes sense. A little more niche, but still well known. That's why I would pick like for Illinois, because REO Speedwagon's from Illinois. Like they could do Riding the Storm Out or Roll the Changes or something. You know, like I feel like people know those songs, even though they're 70s songs. But you know, but I mean, it would work. I think it would work. But yeah, everybody's going to go the 2000s route.
They could. I mean, Smashing Pumpkins is also from Illinois, right there, right? You could say any night game. You just say tonight.
Why does Hawaii never play Margaritaville? Like that would really get.
They're not cool, Jackson.
Well, it would make it cool if you play Margaritaville. Like it's like.
Well, they should play it at like Florida Atlantic games. Like Florida Atlantic is in Boca Raton. The average age there is about 70 years old. So yeah, FAU.
I am not reading that.
Bill Belichick in North Carolina could do the song "Me So Horny."
Oh my gosh, man!
Well, funny thing is, I mean, I know.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was it Luther Campbell was one of the original boosters at Miami. The two live crew guy who
Jackson's about to JP Cubish on us. I hope
actually wrote that song.
Oh my God. I'll be back.
No, yeah, my Miami might claim, and Luther Campbell is still alive, so he would probably rise in defiance of North Carolina appropriating a song like that.
Man.
Does Washington? I don't know, but does Washington, the Huskies play the grunge bands from Seattle like their games? I don't know. Do they?
Yeah, they should throw some. Yeah, definitely throw some.
Pearl Jam, Nirvana.
Oh,
Soundgarden. Yeah, all that stuff. Alice in Chains. I mean, they got tons of material there.
Oh man, Country Roads, Mountain Mama at West Virginia. That
works.
Yeah,
man, West Virginia's in a song, man. And then obviously Sweet Home Alabama.
But the funny thing is, he's not even singing about the state of West Virginia because none of the landmarks that he's mentioning in the song are actually in West Virginia. They're all in the state of Virginia.
Well, it's the same thing about Dixieland Delights, about Tennessee or whatever that I have to hear from Tennessee fans every 2 seconds. I don't even it doesn't even matter. Just use Sweet Home Alabama, dude. Like just use Sweet Home Alabama. It don't matter, even though 30% of the songs about the Cold War or whatever. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Just play that. If
why don't schools ever play Bad Moon Rising? That would be like a badass song to play, especially when you're trailing by any digits, really.
Some credence going on, man.
Huh?
Some credence going on.
Yep. Some
credence is underrated.
I know, right? It's schools need to play their music. That's the thing. They never do that, but Because
Because they're playing Lil Kayla, man. They're not playing Creedence.
Well, look, the Make His Pockets Hurt song should only be played for athletic directors that have to pay $50 million buyouts. And like when the buyout is, becoming official where they're signing the buyout check, that song should play in the background as the athletic director is giving the check to the coach, in my opinion. Like that would be like the face, and put that stuff on a reality TV show. That would make and have it all like Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Like I'm just thinking up of ideas here and there. I mean, like it's perfect off-season material for college football.
Yeah. It would make for great outro visuals for sure for all of these
Indiana could use Mellencamp. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. I mean,
oh man,
they sometimes do it between the commercials.
That's not Mellencamp. That is Johnny Cougar.
Oh man.
Okay, well, he changed his name a lot. He changed his name a lot, man.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Man, it's gotten so bad.
I don't mind John Cougar, but the one song, the lyric where he's talking about sucking on chili dogs, that's a little bit much for me.
Sucking on chili dogs. I'm guessing there's no actual chili dogs in that song.
No, I think it is. It's just like it was. I don't know. Maybe he knew what he was doing there, but like.
Well, it's like Bryan Adams' song "Summer of '69." Like, I mean, that song is not about 1969. I don't think, but.
Yeah. I don't know if he's that old. Quite.
He was not. Like in 1984, I believe, is when Summer '69 came out.
Oh man.
Not that old. I think he was born in 1958 or something like that. So he was.
So when you're 11,
kid still in '69.
Oh man, the perfect song for Boston College. You know what it would be? Life's Gonna Suck from Dennis Leary. Like
any song from Boston for Boston College. More Feeling, Don't Look Back, any of them.
Anything other than that Dropkick Murphy song that they use for every Boston thing ever.
Oh man, but SMU is still in the race for the conference title for the ACC. Like,
what was that?
They're sad. They should use that. They should use that Boy George song. Do you really want to hurt me? You really want to make me cry?
Oh man, SMU, man, that like, oh man, like they're still in.
Colorado could use Deion Sanders' song "Must Be the Money."
What's a legitimate thing is Duke. Duke's 5-4. I think they lost all their out of conference games, but they only have
except for one. Except for one non-con game.
Okay. Well, they're still
what against like Elon or something.
Yep.
They're still firmly alive.
More Than a Feel is just a perfect song to play, man.
Duke could end up in the playoffs as a 4-loss team. I doubt it'll happen.
That would be really sad. I mean, it'd make the ACC look horrible.
Yeah. It'd be awesome. Can you imagine like Duke showing up there? They're like the 12 seed. Who would they even be playing? Like an Oregon level team or something like that.
I mean, I don't know if it'd be as bad as Oregon Liberty, but it'd be probably close.
No, you know what might actually happen if the ACC imploded that bad? Cool. That 2 group of 5, because all it says is the top 5 conference champs. So it doesn't guarantee anybody a bid the way that it is right now.
So what you're saying is like if you got like South Florida and North Texas. That's not a good thing. South Florida, like James Madison, rather.
Right.
Yeah. Would get in.
Yeah, of course.
Over the ACC.
Yeah,
I mean, still probably won't happen because, I mean, Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
But
the ACC just gets completely excluded from the.
It could happen.
they'll be like, yeah, it's like who's the group of 5 and who's the power.
It's highly unlikely to happen, but if it imploded that bad and like a 4-loss Duke ended up like that, and James Madison and North Texas, whoever it might be, they both went out and they both ended up like top 20, and the ACC champs not in the top 20, it would happen.
Oh man.
That probably
Yeah,
won't.
Speaking of which, can we go ahead and make Bob Chesney the top coaching candidate from the group of 5?
Yeah, Jackson's just wanting another James Madison coach to hit the big time. It won't be Signetti 2.0 though. It just won't be.
I think it's between Chesney and Ohio State grad Alex Golesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one that's high up there is Sumrall and Silverfield. They're all kind of.
Oh, Summerall's going to Auburn. His wife is from Huntsville.
Yeah, I feel like Summerall is like very regional. He's going to stay in the South.
And the fact that he was at Troy, so there's that.
Stephen Cherry, man. I mean that's just too good, man. That's just too good.
Oh, 9 to 5. I love that song.
Wait. Dolly Parton. We all know what Whitney Houston wrote that in 1992, right?
Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean.
Working 9
That's a
to
cover.
5.
That's a cover.
Dolly's an underrated songwriter. She wrote a.
She's amazing.
No, she has the.
Fantastic. I love Dolly.
She wrote a few.
I love Dolly on every level.
That's why when people say, Jeffrey, do you like country music? And I'm like, not really, but I like Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. And they'll be like, okay. Well, I mean, if you don't like Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, it's kind of tough, man. Like that's just good. That's just good. I mean, you start getting to the blue jeans and the rolling the windows down and the drinking out of red cups and stuff and everything, and it's kind of just kind of lost me at that
the
point.
majority of the new country's garbage, but like classic country's like good.
Yes, like I even like the old like the folky type stuff, like Alabama and like America and like that type of junk. Like that's good music. Like that is really good freaking music. A Horse with No Name, like that type crap. Like it's not country, but it's like in that vein. That's good. All right, country, it blows now. Sorry, folks, it blows to me. Yep. Old stuff, 80s and earlier, there's some good stuff in there. Because I'm a Southern guy, I'm supposed to love country music. When people say I like country music, pretty much if it's past the 1990s, I don't really like any genre. So, I mean, it's kind of just that. I mean, I don't hate everything that's new, but 99% of it's trash.
So the only rap that Jeffrey likes is the Sugar Hill Gang and Grandmaster Flash. Is that right?
Part of what it is with country is that they turn it into like the antithesis of what it like was. Like, I mean, I know they've done that with quite a few genres, but country, it just kind of it feels a little bit different because it was supposed to be rugged and rural and of the earth, and then you take it and you commercialize it, and it just feels so wrong. You know what I mean? It feels.
That's why people hated hair metal.
Level.
That's why people hated hair metal, because it was commercialized rock/metal. But for some reason, like some of the songs still to this day are good because the riffs and solos were great, even though the dudes look like morons. I mean, it's just the way it is. But yeah, I mean, like when you commercialize a genre, it ruins it. I mean, rock music's pretty much dead. Like outside of Europe, like there's nothing going on here, man. Like Nirvana, or not Nirvana, but Linkin Park rather is like back. Right, they brought Linkin Park back. I listened to some of the new stuff there. But I mean, there's not a lot going on, man. I mean, like classic bands keep making new music. Like Def Leppard made a new album, 38 Special made a new album. Like some of these bands release new stuff, but I mean, it's not the same as their heyday material. It just isn't as good. You know what I mean? Like I'm Hold On Loosely, Caught Up in You is gonna be better than whatever 38 Specials released today, and Bringing On the Heartbreak is going to be better than whatever Def Leppard's releasing today. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, modern music just ain't it. Is it ever better? Like, are we going to get to see, like, auto-tune, like, everything sounding electronic-y era that we're in now? Is it going to, like, revert eventually?
I don't know. But I'm going to say, is Def Leppard's next stunt just to have a drummer drumming with his teeth?
Hey, Rick Allen's still going with that one arm. He's still going.
Oh, Lord.
But, yeah, that'd
I
be hilarious,
see
man.
West Virginia is still alive for bowl eligibility, but Colorado is not.
Dude, Colorado's trash. Like, I told people Dion was going to have a bad year. And, again, I feel bad for Dion. I hope his health is great. We'll get improved. I've been praying for Deion Sanders.
Is he gonna?
But his team is trash, and I knew his team was going to be trash.
Honestly, I'm wondering about I can't help but wonder if he's going to be having a medical retirement after this season. Is he going to return for 2026? Like,
I have no idea.
Yeah, because like
best if he did medically retire.
I have a feeling this is the last season we'll see of Dion in Colorado.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no buzz to that program anymore at all.
Yeah, no one's even talking about him. The media gave
done.
up. They quit hyping him up.
Yeah, I mean it's just I mean like he legitimately does have like reasons to step aside right now. So
I hate that for him.
Like yeah, and so I mean it probably like I think he served his purpose for the school. I think both sides got what they wanted out of this arrangement, to be honest. And let's be honest, that's kind of what it was. It was just sort of we're going to help each other promote each other's brands. I mean, that's what this was from the beginning.
Yeah. I wish would have realized it as that instead of all the hype but people, they had to hype it up. I got annoyed because people hyped it up. They hyped it up, and they're like, Deion's the greatest coach of all time, and Deion is, should win Coach of the Year, and Deion, I mean, no. He never was and never will be. He's not a great coach. I mean, he did good for Colorado and the fact that he made him relevant and all that, but I mean, that's,
True.
Well, I do want to say you can't really undermine what he did at Jackson State. Like that really was like a decrepit. That was a failing university, and a program that really couldn't support Division I athletics. And he got them to not only develop a strong product on the football field, but become more financially sound. As an athletic department, as a university.
Oh, is that more just because of how famous of a person he is, or of his coaching ability?
It is. No. It definitely. I mean, like he definitely, but he used his fame, his popularity for legitimately good purposes at that point. So like I always refrain from shitting on him too hard, especially in the context of these conversations. I think he's been an overall force of good for Colorado. I do. But I do think probably at the end of this year, I don't know if he's our best option going forward.
I think for me, Sean, is that if people have had a more nuanced approach to Deion Sanders and what he has done and look at the positives and the negatives, because there are both, then I would have been more probably supportive of Deion, because I don't dislike Deion. He was a great player, and his personality he is charismatic. Even though I mean he took the son thing a bit too far online, but I mean I don't dislike the guy. I just got annoyed because people just blew it out of proportion. The media blew it. You're hyping up a Colorado State game, and 10, 11 million people watch that game for no freaking reason.
Because of it being at college.
Colorado played like crap. It was only interesting because it was close. but then it's like he starts losing now, and now no one cares. And it's sad. It's sad that happened. When I called it, that he was not going to have a successful stint there, that some people thought where he's going to win the Big 12 and win a national title there and all that we were hearing. It's just sad. It's sad that I was pretty much proven right on that. And I almost feel bad that I was, because I mean, like I said, I have bad takes every day. I have crappy takes every day, but I pegged the Colorado thing from the get go. All he had was Travis Hunter and his son, and that's it. It's just frustrating. I mean, I've never talked negative about Deion in any other way outside of the fact that I don't think that he's great coach. When people said that he was the greatest coach of all time there for a bit, now it just frustrated me. I got nothing against the guy. I feel bad, really bad, that he's in the shape that he's in, and I hope he can somehow reverse his health and he can get better and live a long life, man. I hope he'll be okay. And if he keeps, I'd love for him to keep coaching. I got no problem with him coaching. It's just I am less frustrated with the Deion stuff now that people aren't talking about him, but now I'm frustrated that people just abandoned him too. It's a shame, because all those people that supported him just turned. And I talk more about Deion today myself than any of those morons that were saying he was the greatest coach of all time last year. And they're gone. They're gone. And it's sad. It's not me. Like, people were looking at me saying I'm a bad person for saying Deion's not a great coach. I'm not a bad person for saying Deion Sanders wasn't a great coach. You are a bad person for turning on him the moment he started losing. I didn't turn on him. I always stayed the exact same. Great player, not the best coach in the world. He's been a positive in some degrees. He's been a negative in other degrees. But they sure turned on him when he started losing. So I think that's very disingenuous there.
So I do wonder, do you ever think about what would have happened if Travis Hunter would have gone to an Alabama or an LSU, if he would have been at that kind of program, he could have been a ground shifter, a major program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, what he could have done if he was in a real university with a real program.
Well, he won the Heisman, so
Yeah.
He did win the Heisman, but he could
honestly, I think the reason why Travis Hunter played for Deion was just the angle of the both ways, playing on both sides of the field. That was about it. I don't know if there was any other pre-existing connection where he knew him, or I have no idea. I've failed to know every single angle of recruits and coaches and their backstories and histories and whether they know each other previously. I don't know. Don't know any of that. But, I mean, clearly, because of playing on both sides of the field, it definitely, in my opinion, impacted Travis Hunter's decision to play for him, because he knew he would let him play on both sides.
I think a lot of coaches probably would have if that was part of the recruiting.
Yeah, if it was pushed heavily, but a lot of coaches would have pushed him away from that, because players don't do that. It's strictly not done. I think more players could. I mean, you telling me some of the great corners out there couldn't play receiver? You telling me they couldn't? I think they could. But they don't, because they keep it strictly one side of the field.
Well, you haven't seen it really. I mean, you saw Charles Woodson obviously play some on the offensive side of the ball, and you guys probably don't really remember. Well, you probably know because of the one play, but Chris Gamble for Ohio State was pretty good on both sides of the ball, and he was more on a Travis Hunter level, where he was not every single down, but I mean, he was playing 100 snaps a game. So, and he was elite as a cornerback. Obviously, played in the NFL, really, really good. But he was a really good receiver too. So, it happened, in the past. But I don't know. It takes a special type of talent, and you got to be durable. And I mean, we saw Travis Hunter get beat up quite a bit from doing it. So,
yeah. I mean, imagine Ron Williams trying to play both ways. I mean, it's no slight against Ron Williams, but I mean, he's getting beat up on the one side of the It's just it takes a really strong body to play football. And you got to be able to take hits. I mean, you can be in great shape and have a lot of muscles and still get hurt. You still carry ACLs and stuff.
Added snaps. I mean, it's like people are like kind of some Ohio State fans are getting like kind of irritated by Ohio State not really trying to score points and get statistics this year. You know what I mean? But like they're averaging like I can't remember what it is, like 12 less snaps a game on average because of the way that they're playing, and you don't realize, but like over the course of a season, if you add that up, it'll be like over a full game or almost 2 games. You know what I mean? And that's like wear and tear on your players. Like it's a good thing to do that. But the reason why I'm saying that is you look at like somebody like Travis Hunter, if he's playing literally 100 snaps a game, he's playing like the equivalent of 1 2/3 seasons or 1.5 at least. It's pretty insane.
Here we go.
Yeah, it is. I agree. I definitely agree.
Oh man. Oh man, we forgot to talk about Florida. Kentucky smacked Florida 38-7.
But again, keep in mind that Indiana barely beat Penn State, but Georgia barely beat Florida. Yeah, we can do this all day. I've said this earlier. Like we need to talk about Georgia and how yes they're talented.
Oh, what did I miss?
But they barely beat Florida. They barely beat Florida. And Florida just got murdered. And Florida stinks. So it was a rivalry game, Okay.
Man.
Well,
I mean,
also
Florida,
and
Florida beat Texas.
Penn State too.
Yeah, Florida beat Texas.
People have short memories. Oregon did the same thing at Penn State that Indiana did, basically. Went right down to the wire.
Yeah, but Penn State played hard against Indiana and Oregon. They didn't play hard against UCLA. I watched the UCLA game. They literally, like I said, played like a Division II team in that game.
They were deflated, and then they still were against Northwestern, which Northwestern, I don't know, they're kind of a scrappy team. I watched a little bit of their game last night against USC.
Yeah, people talk about Penn State being really bad, but Penn State did not show up in some of their losses this year.
May we see the rest of the slate for a little bit?
Okay, absolutely. I have to screen share because I cannot share the screen for some reason in this setting. I don't know why, but it won't let me do it. So let me screenshot the rest of the schedule. Definitely, we're getting close to 3 a.m., so I'm sure we're about to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
It's been a great conversation, though. But let's pull up the rest and let's talk about these other games. There we go. See anything you like there? I mean, I see Duke losing to UConn. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, that's Duke for you. Manny
might be in line for one of these Power 4 jobs. I don't know.
What's UConn's record now? They're
7-3.
Yeah, they're having a decent season again.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, like Jim Mora might get one of these lower level P4 jobs.
Loxley's cooked.
If Michigan State were to move on from Jonathan Smith, maybe it would be.
Yeah, and I said I wish I had have picked it because Iowa State's been playing terrible. But I said I picked TCU by like 3. But I said that this is the type game that Matt Campbell wins. They play. People think that they stink, and guess what? They go to TCU and win. There you go.
They've had a lot of injuries this year, but it's been a rough one for Campbell.
Kansas stinks. Said they stink again, I think.
Arizona won a tight one.
They're pretty bad.
And Kansas State, terrible.
Yeah,
I just think that Duke, UConn, Kansas, Arizona. Doesn't that feel like that should have been a Final Four like in 2002 or something like that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Indiana was in the Final Four in 2002. They beat Duke in the Elite Eight.
Oh Lord. Clemson smacking Florida State off base.
Yeah. Carolina beat Stanford. Almost blew that game. But
Stanford was Nick Saban's super dog pick on College Game Day. He had Stanford beating the spread. I saw a little bit of Game Day this morning.
Well, Carolina should have won this game by 3 touchdowns, but they floundered at the end and let Stanford come back. But I guess credit to Bill for holding on. I mean, they're 4-5. I mean, they end the season with Wake, NC State, and Duke. I mean, they can win 2 of those 3. They make a bowl game. I still think they're terrible, but yeah, Carolina 4-5, and people are starting to warm up to Bill a little bit. Yeah, Clemson. I picked Florida State. Terrible pick. I thought Clemson was cooked. They've been sucking all season, but they showed up today. So what do I know, man? Kentucky, Florida, just Florida, man. I mean, like,
Man, let that sink
the fact
in.
that they almost beat Georgia last week and then do this is just sad. Really sad.
Man, like the fact of Florida, Kentucky, like 1987 to 2017, Florida had that humongous winning streak. And now I'm looking at the football games of 2018 to now. That makes it 5-3 versus Florida since 2018.
Wait, Kentucky's
and
5 and
Stoops is quietly saving his job.
wait, you're saying Kentucky is 5-3 since that streak? That's like 40 years.
Versus Florida since 2018. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I
they
know
went how
the
many?
2021 win is vacated, but I count the 2021 win.
Wow.
Stoops is quietly saving his job, though.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like when
in
he's
the
in
other game,
trouble.
Nebraska, UCLA. I picked UCLA there, so I got a lot of these smaller games wrong. I got all the big ones right, but I got the small ones wrong. Latif, if he thrown the ball last week, they could have beat USC. He didn't throw it all last week, but then today he throws for 205. So
Why do I feel like Nebraska's going to win a tight one against Penn State and win a tight one against Iowa and then win a tight one in their bowl game? I feel like that's what's going to happen to end the season for Nebraska.
I mean, they're 7-3. I mean, Rule's having a better year. I mean, I thought they were going to completely fall apart the rest of the league. I mean, and that USC part. I mean, Raiola went down and then they just quit. Latif didn't do anything. So I was like, they're done. But then Latif today throws for 205. So, I mean, okay. I mean, good for Rule. I mean, good for Nebraska fans. They're not completely falling apart. And again, it's still people said UCLA was going to go to the Big Ten championship game, by the way.
I feel like Raiola is sort of a negative force anyway. I mean, like him not being part in the picture for them is probably better. I don't know.
Holmes' twin is not, whatever they call him. He's been, I don't know, man. He has not lived up to the potential. Got Stephen Cherry saying, great show off the bed. It's all entertainment and fun, Jeffrey. Absolutely. Appreciate you being here, Stephen. It's all good. I love chatting with you guys and the Ohio State faithful. And I just had to go off a little bit earlier. It's, it's all good. It wasn't directed at you at all. But yeah, thanks for listening, Stephen, as always, and hope to see you next week. I will be back next week. Sucks I wasn't able to do the show last week. I missed doing that, but glad to be back. It was a ton of fun for sure. We'll be going to bed soon as well, but definitely, I mean, there's just stuff to talk about. Just getting the weeds of these games. You can talk about anything, and of course, I start talking about REO Speedwagon, so it's my fault. But yeah, I mean, Oregon State. I mean, you got Oregon State beating Washington State and then losing to Sam Houston. I mean, that's football for you right there.
Where's that game played? Was that at Sam Houston or?
It was at Oregon State.
Oh God.
Corvallis, man, that place was quiet.
Well, I mean, the biggest the biggest punch in the balls there was they renovated that stadium right before.
They lost on senior day today. That's so bad for Oregon State.
I knew when Washington State and Oregon State did not get picked up by the Big 12 that it was over. I mean, they're the fact that it's like all the conference realignment has happened and they're left behind. I mean, every year that goes by where they're not in the Power Four, they fall further behind. I mean, you think about it. They're like a rocket ship launching off, and they're still on the ground. They're just looking at it going further away. I mean, it's almost depressing if you're an Oregon State, Washington State fan or an alumni. It really is. Like, I'm not even being like facetious. Like I'm actually being serious. It's sad. I mean, they're
and you gotta wonder, like, did the Big 12 just set a hard cap at 16? Because I have no understanding. I have no understanding why, like, they're less deserving than like Cincinnati or Houston or Central Florida. I mean, I guess maybe they're in like less. They don't have quite as big a reach. Maybe the
problem is, Sean, is
like
that Pullman and Corvallis are like so out of the way, especially Pullman.
Yeah.
Like they're just out of the middle of nowhere.
Look at the three you just named. They all have one thing in common. They're all in major markets.
Yeah.
I mean, Pullman is near Boise.
No, yeah.
Pullman is right on the border of Idaho.
That's why, Pullman, Idaho and Washington State's like the battle for the Palouse. It's a little rivalry or whatever because they're like 10 miles from each other, right across the border. And because Idaho's in Moscow, Idaho, it's right on the border. Washington State's in.
The two schools. Yeah, they're literally 10 minutes apart.
So, I mean, but they're in the middle of nowhere. They have no reach. I mean, they're not next to any major city outside of Boise, and everybody in Boise is probably not going to be a Washington State fan. They're going to. Yeah. And it's just like they're just dead. And I mean Corvallis, it's a little bit less than nowhere. It's pretty much
honestly the Pac-12 or
it's the Mountain West. I refuse. I refuse to call that crap the Pac-12.
I know, right?
Mountain West. You're taking literally every freaking school from the Mountain West, plopping it into the Pac-2. That's all it is, and a couple other schools. I mean, like Texas State or whatever. No. That's not the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is Oregon and Washington and USC. I mean, I'm sorry, but when your little name changes and stuff, like I'm not a big name change guy. I like to keep the stuff in the same name. But when you're gonna put an entire new conference into the old Pac-12, it's not the Pac-12 anymore.
No,
it's dead. It's freaking gone. Let it die. All they had to do is put Washington State and Oregon State in the Mountain West.
It's basically like. It's like that South Park episode where everybody's like fighting over Kenny on his deathbed, where like Cartman's like, "Oh, you gotta let Kenny die in peace," but he's just saying that so he can have that PSP. And Stan and Kyle are like, no, we don't want him to die. We want a friend. But then it was like Cartman was right for the wrong reason. Stan Kyle wrong for the right reasons. I feel like the Pac-12 is kind of, or the Mountain Pack, or whatever the hell we're calling that conference.
It's just trash, man.
That's what it feels like. I'm kind of
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
I can't remember who came up with that, but that was.
I wish I knew how to.
The only thing I know about Brokeback Mountain, I think Michelle Williams was in that or something. That's all I know about that movie. I've never seen it.
The Joker was in that too.
Linda Cardellini, Heath Ledger, Jake.
Okay, Heath Ledger. I know who that is.
Linda Cardellini. Woo, Wawa Weewa.
I like old Linda. She's cool. She was awesome on Gravity Falls and regular show. But anyway, oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm not a fan of the mountain pack or whatever. I mean, honestly, I prefer if they called it the mountain pack. At least that would be like somewhat accurate, but bringing them all to the Pac-12 and acting like it's the Pac-12 is just sad. I mean, that is just a desperate attempt to grab onto a name, so you're inflating the value of programs that don't deserve to have inflated value. I mean, you're thinking that by bringing these teams from the Mountain West, the Sun Belt, whatever conference, and bringing them into the Pac-12 is going to make these teams have more value. That is just disgustingly sad.
And
that is fool's gold. The teams are not going to get value.
Hey, join our league. You could be playing Ohio State in the Rose Bowl.
And
No, that's
Gonzaga. Oh my God!
We can just let them have it. I mean, they don't have anything else. They were abandoned. They were displaced. Like, we can just let them have it. It's kind of like that. You guys probably never seen the movie, but it's kind of like that Steve Martin movie called The Jerk. Have you guys seen that movie?
Oh yeah.
And when he's like leaving his house or whatever, and he's like, he's gonna take all this stuff. He's like, I'm gonna take the only thing that I want is this chair. And then he has all this stuff, and he ends up leaving, and he just takes like a thermos, I think, or something like that. He's like, can't we just let him have the name? They're like Steve Martin. They want to take all this stuff, but they can't take any other teams with them. So let's just let them have the name.
I think more so for me, though, Hummus, it's more so just because it's inaccurate, for one, and two, it craps on the Pac-12 name.
The history of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's just more of my problem with it. Plus, logistically, it would have been easier to just swap two teams and turn them into the Mountain West than to plop a lot of other teams into the Pac-12. I mean, you're costing more money with rebrands and all that. I probably doesn't cost as much these days to rebrand stuff, but still, you're just making more of an effort out of it than it has to be.
They want to do it because they think it'll give them some type of, I don't know, credibility, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. That like you literally
they're
want
doing
to
it.
inflate the value and credibility of these universities and teams when it's not going to.
Just using the name, it's kind of.
There's intellectual property they have, like to actual, to things in the past. The things in the past that like to anybody claiming, if anyone wants to like actually claim it, that they're a champ, there are reasons why you want to preserve the branding there, to have the intellectual property rights to the name of the Pac-12.
What happened exactly?
Why this? What?
Yeah, that's true. But it's a little bit off topic, but kind of on the topic. What exactly happened when the Big East football conference dissolved? Because I think when a lot of those teams went to the American, I think it was like 5 or 6 of the teams, wasn't it?
Yeah. There were like all the Catholic schools like sort of stayed as a part of the Big East. I mean.
After Syracuse got out, like after Pitt got out, after Louisville got out, after Notre Dame got out, after Rutgers got out, they were like, okay, we need to.
What's South Florida in the Big East?
South Florida was in the Big East from 2005 to 2012.
I was like, they were like when I was alive.
Cincinnati was.
That's how messed up this stuff is.
But I'm just wondering, so the reason why they probably didn't try to retain the name, though, the remaining schools, was probably because of the basketball affiliation, because the Big East in basketball continued on.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that's why they weren't able, because it would have made sense, because once again, it would have added credibility to the American for those schools to maintain the Big East name, but I guess they probably weren't able to.
No, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. I mean, there was some litigation about this, and the Catholic schools that were a part of the Big East won the naming rights there, and so there was a divorce. So I mean, in like 2011, 2012, whenever that was.
Yeah, that's a weird
It was
situation.
an official divorce happened in March 2013.
It's an
Okay.
odd situation there though, because most of those Catholic schools they didn't even play football in the Big East. You know,
No,
it
no.
was already an odd situation to begin with because St. John's and uh,
Yeah,
uh,
Villanova.
yeah,
And
no, they weren't even in the Big
St.
East for
Joseph.
football.
Not
So
St.
it's
Joseph.
kind of a strange situation. It seems like it would have been a battle.
Oh man, it was that was an insane battle. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
go get ready for bed. And apologies for keeping Jeffrey up. Like I thought I was like,
Oh, it's all of us are guilty, but it's me that's the most guilty because I literally could just be like, "Hey, I'm tired. Go to bed. Appreciate you for
yeah.
being." But like, I'm
But
having a
like
great time, so I just keep going. I
we're
mean,
always like the
I
definition of
appreciate
a
it.
Southern goodbye or a Midwest version
It
of saying
never
bye.
ends, man. It's like 30 minutes later,
Yeah, because it's like,
hours later.
yeah, we need the SpongeBob narrator for sure. But I will say, gentlemen, y'all have a good night. Sleep well. Jeffrey, awesome as always hanging with you. Sean,
Appreciate you
awesome
for
as always
being
hanging with
on the
you.
show, Jackson. It was a blast.
Oh man, it was awesome. It was fun getting to talk about all kinds of stuff tonight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and we kept it pretty PG too. Pretty good.
We even gave
I think I made it a little unintentionally R-rated a little bit.
Well, I mean, for brief, but I mean, back in the '80s, you could have one slip up and still be PG. So we'll go with that.
Yeah. Well,
we
y'all
we didn't,
stay,
we didn't go
stay.
too far overboard with Jed Fish's wife. We kept it. We kept it.
Yeah, we were respectful, you know, even insinuating that he would dare move on in 20 years. But I mean, that's hopefully not going to
Well,
happen.
she is beautiful though. She is beautiful blonde.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah. Alrighty,
You have a great
guys.
night, Jackson.
Y'all sleep well, stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out, and hummus is good seeing you again, man.
Hey,
I'll be
thank you,
seeing
Jackson.
I'll be seeing y'all soon.
Good to see you.
okay.
You guys have any like final thoughts? Anything else that we can cover before we go to bed?
Yeah.
Uh,
Trying to look at these very late results that I haven't caught up on. Not many.
There weren't a lot
Don't know.
of games.
Yeah.
no, but I missed the initial discussion on the Indiana Penn State thing, and the one thing I do want to say is like I said, I didn't watch most of that game, but I will tell you one thing that is definitely if catch of the year is beat by that catch at the end of the game, it's going to have to be pretty amazing because that was unbelievable that he got that foot in.
Yeah. Omar
Just
Cooper
Blown
when you
away,
saw it.
hummus. Omar Cooper saved IU's
getting that
undefeated
left,
season.
getting that left foot in.
That was unbelievable catch. So, and he went up
Charlie
high.
Becker's catch was great too. Before that, I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
that one.
I saw that too. Yep. But
The
that was
throws from
unreal.
Mendoza. I mean, he threw a pick again, and every time he throws a pick, he responds. Like I don't know, man. The Oregon game, he threw the pick six. I'm like, oh no, it's over. And then he turned around, had the great drive against Iowa. Throws a pick, turns around with the Surratt touchdown. This game throws a pick, and then I mean, I know Ohio State fans are making fun, saying, "Oh well, you're praising that he throws picks and then responds." Like, well, it's still amazing that he shows the like what's the word I'm looking for?
Resilience.
Composure and resilience after making big mistakes in key games that they could lose, and he turns it around and wins the game with his teammates. You know,
Well,
throwing. I mean, it's pretty incredible that he's done it 3 times now.
it's what good players and good teams do. They face adversity and they overcome it. So something to be said for that. So, but it'll be interesting to see how it all if they both continue on the collision course and finally all these Twitter warriors and all these people from Ohio State and Indiana's fan bases will have to they'll have to eventually find out what's going to happen. So
I mean, I think again. I mean, I'll say it now. I feel like if Ohio State and Indiana play each other, Ohio State will probably win. It doesn't mean that Indiana cannot win. They have a chance to win. But I think the talent gap is still wide. I don't think Indiana is the second best team in college football. I don't. I think what they're doing is unprecedented and it's insane and it's awesome and I love it and I think it's great. But they don't have 5 stars, man. I know people are like, well, that 5 stars don't always matter. Indiana has 0 5.
the key word there
like
is
3
team.
4 stars on the entire team. That's it.
The key word is team, though. They might be one of the best teams. You know what I mean? It's a collection. So it's all about how you work together and how, coaching, everything. Cohesion.
Yeah, and I mean, like Michigan State, back in like 2013, 2015, when they popped Ohio State a couple times, they didn't have more than a couple 4 stars on those rosters either.
So it is possible.
Yeah.
But it's not sustainable. That's why, like, if Signetti is going to keep a great team in 5 years at Indiana, he's eventually going to have to be able to recruit better, or water will meet its level, and they will have.
They're going to have to draw in like significant investment from outside sources.
They're recruiting better.
Indiana is capable of doing.
They are up in their game. It's just got to continue.
They're recruiting better. They're actually in on a few of the blue chippers from Ohio that usually would be either Ohio State or maybe looking at like Oregon or some other big time program somewhere else. So they're starting to ramp up their recruiting. That's what I'm saying. It takes the notoriety comes and kids see it, and then eventually Indiana's a brand, and they're like, "Oh, you got the Indiana offer. That's a big deal." You know what I mean? So it won't take as long as you think. It'll take continued success. Eventually, it'll pay dividends when it comes to the recruiting trail. If the investment capabilities there, they will recruit. It'll happen. So.
Absolutely. I think it has to happen too, like I said, because if not, eventually water will meet its level. Like any team, any coach that has insane success with lower rated players will eventually have a team of guys that just don't have the same magic. It just isn't going to work. I think that Signetti's incredible. I mean, I feel like what he's doing is better than almost anything I've ever seen in my life. But it is basically better than anything I've ever seen in my life. He took a team that's trash, it's no good, that never wins anything, and now they're this. But can it keep happening to this degree? No. There's no way that it can keep happening to this degree 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, if all they have are a bunch of 2-star, 3-star players. It's just not. There's no way it could. I think he can still play a lot of games with guys like that. But if they're going to consistently compete, and like you said, then they're eventually going to have to start winning some bigger recruiting battles. My opinion.
Like the closest thing I can recall to what Indiana's doing now is what Bill Snyder did at Kansas State in the late '90s, early 2000s. I mean, that was an absolutely dead program. I mean, Indiana was basically Alabama compared to what Kansas State was in the late '80s. I mean, they were on the verge of cutting football as a school, and he built them into a perennial like top 10 team, basically on 2 and 3 stars, on guys nobody wanted, and a lot of JUCO transfers, like doing it in a very similar way to what Signetti's done so far in Indiana. And that was a sustainable model, and that saved Kansas State football for sure. And that's the closest thing. Other than that, I mean, like basically, if you don't have the resources, you can't compete.
I think Indiana, the only reason that, like you take like the Snyder situation with Kansas State, like they were that bad then. Like Indiana back in like the late 90s to 2007 was probably the worst football program. And before Bill Mallory in the 80s, from the 67 Rose Bowl until Bill Mallory's first season, they only made one bowl game with Lee Corso. They were trash from the 70s to the early 80s, and then they were really trash in the 90s to 2007. At that time, they were at Kansas State, were the worst ever. And I mean, all those stretches of being really awful is why Indiana's the losingest program of all time. Because if you go back before Bo McMillan in the 1940s, Indiana in the 10s, 20s, 30s was trash. They were going 2-6 and 1-7 and just bad. Tons of just bad seasons. That's why the record is so bad, because there's so many stretches of them being bad. Then when 07, when they made a bowl game in 07, and then that coach that passed away, Terry Hepner, then they got Kevin Wilson in 2011, who did some things with Sudfeld and Tevin Coleman and whatever, and Simi.
He was great. He was great at losing 52 to 40 to 45 games.
Yeah, like that Maryland Ohio State game that year. Games like that, like he made him somewhat something, and then Tom Allen had Penix. So it's like Cignetti took over the losingest program in the Power Four, but Indiana the last 15 years was better than they had been the previous 15 years. Because again, from 1993, Bill Mallory's last good season until 2007, Indiana's winning percentage was like 30%. It was that bad. Like, that's bottom of the barrel. Like, it's terrible. It's like bottom of FBS. Then after 2007 until Cignetti in 2024, Indiana had at least had a few decent seasons. The Penix years, Sudfeld, they went like 6-6, 7-5, whatever. Like they had some relevancy and some guys getting drafted. It was not a lot, but it was something. That's why, even though people like, if Tom Allen needed to go, people at Indiana still respect Tom Allen because and Kevin Wilson, because it's like they at least made Indiana football something before this. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of set the stage that Indiana could be something. I mean, I even said on Mark Rogers' show, which he even thought I was completely nuts, which is hilarious. I even said 3 years ago in 2022, if Indiana football wanted to actually commit to football, they could be good. You'd have to go back into the annals of Mark Rogers' live streams, but I said those words. I was correct on that. I said that Indiana football could be good if they wanted to be. They got a lot of money. They got Cuban. They got tons of alumni. They could be good in football if they actually wanted to be good in football. Kind of like how you've mentioned, I think you, Sean, specifically North Carolina. Like North Carolina could be good in football if they wanted to be. But I said Indiana could be good. And I got laughed off, not by Mark specifically, but like the chat thought I was nuts, thought I was crazy, said I was an idiot. And even Mark was very skeptical about it, but I was correct. I did not think that this was going to happen, but I was correct in saying that Indiana could be good in football if they wanted to.
It's just surprising to see the level of dominance and such a like you could talk about like who were you saying, Bill Snyder, or even like what Gary Barnett did in the 90s at Northwestern, like those kind of things. But like the thing is that they took them close to the like precipice or whatever of like being nationally relevant, like top 10th. But like I wouldn't have been shocked if you told me Indiana ended up in a state like what Iowa has been, or like what Wisconsin was 5-10 years back. But to say that they would be up there and being mentioned in the same breath as like Ohio State and Alabama right now, it's just shocking. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like it's one of the craziest stories I've ever seen in college football. Like it's unbelievable.
And to do it in back-to-back years too, with a fairly significant amount of turnover from year to year. I mean, they didn't hold over that many players from last year. They didn't hold over their quarterback from last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only returners are a couple of linemen on the defensive line and the offensive line. Kamara, Sure, Pons, Surratt.
Yeah. So there's pretty significant proof of concept with what Cignetti's doing. At Indiana. So, which hey, we went 11-1 last year. We came back. We replaced a whole lot of our roster, and we were better the next year at a school that traditionally used to winning like 4 or 5 games a year.
I mean, their all-time winning percentage is 42%. So that it basically equates to 5-7, 4-8 every year. And I mean, so many seasons they would go 5-7 and or whatever, like 1-7 in the league. So crappy non-con games, and you can't win an actual game.
Yeah, you would play 3 games a non-con against like 3 MAC schools and an FCS school.
And then maybe you would beat Northwestern or Purdue, and that's it. And then now, more recently, Rutgers or Maryland. You know that's really been Indiana's like wins forever. Because I mean, there's 2 back-to-back seasons, 2017 and 2018, where Indiana went 5-7 both years, and they literally went 5-7, and they won 2 conference games. And one was Maryland and one was Rutgers both seasons, and they couldn't beat Purdue in 12. So they couldn't beat anybody. Because I remember one of the first games I really watched of Indiana was back in like 2017. Indiana football. I was watching. It was Peyton Ramsey's first game that he came in for. That was Richard Lego still? I don't freaking remember. He might.
Richard. Well, that was a long time ago. Richard Lego. I remember him.
Yeah. He was the one. I think he was the guy that had when the game day came right in 2017. The Indiana started out like competing, and then they got blown out at the end. But it was close because I think I don't remember who that receiver was that year, but he was slinging to that dude, man.
Cody Latimer.
Cody Latimer was earlier. That was Sudfeld. 2017 Indiana. Who was that receiver?
Ross? No, that would have been earlier too, right?
Yeah, it was 49-21, but the game was 17-14 at half. It was Simi Cobbs. Yeah, he was still there. Lego in the game he was 40 of 65 for 410 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. And Simi Cobbs had 11 catches, 149 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, and Ian Thomas was on that team. So he still plays in the NFL with Penn. But yeah, like that was like Indiana's like moment there, right? Like they were trying to be relevant. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Hummus and Sean, both of you, like when I said that Indiana could be good in football to Mark, I was thinking Iowa. I was thinking Wisconsin. That's what I was thinking. You know, I was like, they can win 8 games a year if they wanted to win 8 games. If they wanted to commit to that. I never in my life would have thought that they'd be doing what they're doing right now. I'm still blown away. That's why I'm so excited about it and blown away. Like, even if I was not an Indiana fan specifically for the reasons that I'm an Indiana fan, which, you know, it again is odd in and of itself. I'm not an Indiana fan like people born and raised in Indiana. I'm just a guy that lives in North Carolina, that loves Alabama football, that so happens to like this team, you know, because they suck. And it's just, I never in my life would have thought that they'd be doing this right now. Like the fact that they're ranked ahead of my favorite team, the team that is a blue blood, probably best program of all time in college football, up there with Ohio State. Indiana's ranked ahead of them right now. And like they feel like they belong. And it's just weird. It's crazy. And I think it's awesome. I think it's one of the best stories of all time. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's been incredible. I mean, literally, he's already taken Indiana. They're not the losingest Power 4 program anymore. Western is. That changed today. Indiana has won so many games the last 2 seasons. They're no longer the losingest program anymore.
Wow, that's fantastic. And
their winning percentage is not the worst anymore either because Wake has that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And college football really doesn't have enough of those stories. Like the status structure of college football feels so like cemented. It feels so. I mean that it really just doesn't matter. Like there's no way anything can change. I mean, you can look at programs like certain programs like Auburn's been like just mismanaged horrendously for a long time. They can turn around very quickly. Michigan for a decade, like just screwed everything up. But it didn't hurt them that much. They had so much built-in infrastructure they could recover quickly from it. I mean that's the difference between being a blue blood and not being a blue blood, or whatever it is. I mean, that's I mean the fact that something like what Indiana is doing right now and what Kansas State did 30 years ago, I mean, like the fact that they're so rare is a bit unfortunate for the sport. I think. Like I kind of wish it was a little bit more dynamic, but it feels a little bit feudal in the way this sport is set up right now. You know what I mean? Like you got to know your place. Like Minnesota, you're never going to be Ohio State. Okay, stop pretending. Mississippi State, no. You can never be elite. Like that can't happen. Like
They were very solid under Mike Leach.
Yeah. I mean, like, I mean, they'll rise up every now and then under Jackie Sherrill or Dan Mullen and have a year or two or have a moment or two. But
like Vandy with James Franklin and now Clark Lee, like it's,
yeah. Like I mean, like in probably in a few years, Vandy's going to be terrible again, right? I mean, unless Clark Lee just stays there for a long time.
I doubt that.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, like there is just sort of this feudal system to college football that, I mean, I think draws a lot of us in because we get drawn into being part of championship, organizations. We like being part of winners, but eventually it does just kind of suck and gets a little stale. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, when I was a kid, when Alabama was dominating like every year, like I even said to myself one year, I was like, it just kind of runs together at this point. Like, oh yeah, we're either gonna win a national championship or we're gonna be like one game away. And I never didn't want Alabama to win. I wanted Alabama to win national championships. I mean, it's like like if Ohio State won a national championship every single year, you'd be cool with that because you're a fan. Like, absolutely. But like if your team hasn't won a national championship in 10, 15 years and then you win a national championship, it feels more special. Like for even Alabama, we haven't won since 2020. If we win this year or next year, it's going to be a little bit more euphoric than it is when we were winning back-to-backs with Saban. You know what I'm saying? Because you hadn't done it.
For sure.
I mean, I like it absolutely. But I remember having a conversation also with Mark and other college football people back in 2022, 2023. I said, can a bad program get good in this era? And basically the resounding answer was no. And they're like, if you're already bad, you're cooked. So I think people did underestimate that NIL could help a program that was bad. I mean, because you take, like you said, North Carolina again. Indiana is like North Carolina. It's a flagship university with a lot of money. It's like the NIL era benefited Indiana with the hiring of Kurt Signetti. So I definitely think that pre-NIL era, this might not have happened. So in a way, you can look at the NIL era, maybe making the gap bigger for some schools, but it also helps some schools that maybe were never good actually have success. You know, I don't know if you heard any of that, but
It
Yeah.
definitely does.
but I feel like that's where we're at right now. Like it's making the gap bigger for some. Like the group of 5, they're getting dusted. It's like that's why you saw barely any FCS upsets this year. You didn't see as many group of 5 upsets this year. Like that gap's going to continue to widen. But programs like Indiana that were already in the Power 4, that's a flagship university, it gave them a chance. It didn't give Akron a chance. It didn't give Kent State a chance. But it gave Indiana a chance. Because I mean, literally Kurt Signetti's the 3rd highest paid coach in college football now. They paid Mendoza $2 million a year to go to IU instead of Georgia. Like these type of moves.
I mean, yeah. All these schools that have like actual big money
Indiana's
donors
got a
behind.
massive alumni base. I mean, the Maryland game, it was all IU people there. They were traveling like Kentucky basketball, or Ohio State football fans. How they used to sell Indiana for us.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem that Maryland and Rutgers are going to have had when they join the Big Ten is that they're just where they're located. There's just going to be a lot of fans from rival fan bases that will have easy access to all your games. So a lot of the games are going to feel like road games. Yeah, I mean but no, I mean, yeah, it's a completely different paradigm now with all this money. Here, I mean, yeah, especially. I mean, like I even think like a school like Michigan. Michigan was really like fumbling around with the NIL program for a long time, and
they got it together.
Well, they got it together in large part because, I mean, Larry Ellison, who has absolutely no connection to the school, just started dating someone 50 years younger, and yeah, and he's got more money than anyone can ever imagine. So I mean, so he forfeits like 0.1% of his net worth, and it just completely changes the trajectory of Michigan sports entirely.
That's why Texas.
So yeah. Well, Texas Tech, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like literally, it's nothing against McGuire. It is nothing against McGuire, but I'm seeing people be like, McGuire, he's a top coach, and I'm just. I mean,
he's been there for like 5 years now, right?
Yeah, that's the point. We've got evidence of Texas Tech prior to this NIL boost, and were they winning 10 games? No, they were going 7-5 and 6-6. Now that McGuire's got some money, they're winning games, and again, good for him. But
I mean, there is something to be said for that too, though. At least he's able to collect egos, and he's doing he's doing a good job in certain aspects. Like
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not. I just think it's funny though that we have elite like Signetti came to IU and immediately turned it around. And again, I know that NIL did help, but he's won wherever he's been. Like McGuire, his track record is not Signetti's track record. It just is. Like he's good and all, but like the success kicked in right when the NIL kicked in.
Yeah.
It's just it just doesn't feel the same. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying that without the NIL boost, they would not be 9-1 right now or whatever the record.
Oh, definitely not.
Like there's no way.
Their defensive line is pretty nasty, though. What I've seen.
Yeah,
but they're pretty much all transfers, all NIL guys.
Yeah. I mean, and Texas Tech's benefiting in other sports too, because I saw like softball. Man, they added like a top-ranked softball transfer class. Because people are you just scroll through Texas Tech, it's like, oh, all their sports, they're getting highly rated players or whatever, and even basketball and stuff. It's funny. I mean, it's not a bad score or anything.
They just love the landscape of Lubbock, where you can look in one direction and see for 16 miles.
It's literally just a circle, man. You look at it like the aerial view of Lubbock, and it's just like you got this circular city, and then there's just nothing. It's just like you reach the edge of the city, and then it's just nothing. It's like just desert, man. It's just plain.
I mean, who wouldn't want to live in a place like that? Who would just like?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's how a lot of Texas cities are out there, like Abilene, Amarillo, Lubbock. They're all just surrounded by nothing. You just got to drive like 40, 50 miles on the interstate to get to the next town. Oh, man. It's crazy. It's wild. I mean, it ain't how it is where I live. I mean, you got towns everywhere, even if they're small towns. But, like, you're not going more than, like, 5 miles without something. Like, Texas, you just got gaps, man. It's just big gaps.
It's amazing
You
how many.
can just pick a patch of desert, build a house on it, and call it a day, man. You just live by yourself.
Yeah, like you look at Texas on a map and say, "Oh, that's pretty big." It makes sense that they have a lot of people. Yeah, well, all those people are in like 5 different places on this map, and then
San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, all that.
Yeah, and then there's nothing. There's just a lot of nothing.
The western part of the state is dead. I mean, it's just dead, man. I mean, like you got a couple of cities dotted and stuff, but
El Paso. If you even
you got El Paso, you got Brownsville on the southern border. I think Laredo on like between Rio Grande.
You've got that. You've got Midland, Odessa, kind of right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Midland, Odessa, trying to be something down there. It's something, man. I mean, it's just not a lot down there. I love looking at it. It's fascinating. Like, if you're a geography fan, Texas is fascinating.
Well, I definitely don't live in Texas. If you can toughen my cough right now, I've got a very northerly show right now, so I will be resigning for the night, guys.
Yeah,
appreciate it, Sean. Hopefully your cough will go away. It always sucks when. Yeah, I've done shows before where I could barely talk because I had to cough, and sometimes I don't even know if people knew I was sick, but it sucks. Like it really sucks. I try not to show when I'm sick, but it's bad. Hopefully your cough will go away, man.
It will soon enough. Trust me. I'm actually at the tail end of a pretty brutal viral infection, so it'll be gone here in a couple of days, and I'll just be down to my normal winterly sniffles and sneezes, stuff like
it's
that.
A staple, man. It's a staple.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hummus, great to talk to you as always. Take care, Jeffrey.
Yep.
You have a great night, Sean. We praying your cough goes away, and hope you have a great night.
Take care. Get to 100%.
Yep. Take care, people. Bye.
You have a great night, Sean. You got any final thoughts on this before we wrap it up at almost 4 a.m. again?
No, because I had a final thought, and then it ended up another 30 minutes. So better just call it a night.
All right. Yeah, I'm terrible at this thing, man. I'm terrible at ending shows. That's why when I'm doing shows where it's not call-in, I'm like, people like, can I call in? No. Because if you call in, the show's going to be 3 hours. Like, that's what happens. It's my fault. But, at the same time, we're having a great time. I don't want to,
no, it's fun. No, I'm glad you do it. It's always good. Saturday night, I always feel like I can sleep in the next morning, and, I enjoy it. So I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Appreciate it, Hummus. Hope you have a great night. Thanks for coming on with the perspective on Ohio State. I felt like I had to get reeled back in a little bit. I'm just so amped about IU. Just people trashing them. It's like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, let them have their moment, man. But
no, for sure. I try to be balanced. But
Yeah.
That's what I can provide. Try to, anyways. But
You do a great job.
Thanks, Jeffrey. I'll maybe talk to you next week.
Hopefully, absolutely, definitely. I should be back next week, and definitely hope to talk to you then for sure.
All right, take care.
You have a great night, Hamasiro. And that should wrap up our show, everybody. We're almost at 3 hours and we're over 3 hours and 30 minutes. We're almost 3 hours and 45 minutes, but we're not going to get to 3 hours and 45 minutes. I've done 5 hours and 6 hour streams before, but yeah, I think we're heading to bed. I could keep going, but I gotta get some sleep too. So take care all until next stream. Appreciate that, James Scott. It's nice seeing you back in the chat. You got Troy V coming in as well. I love that comment. Mary Mac's going to take this country by storm their NIL program. That would be hilarious. I would support that as long as they're not better than Indiana or Alabama. But that would be awesome. But do appreciate everybody for being here. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share the stream out on social media. It was a very fun show. I had a great time talking about all these games and tons of other stuff as well. We always go off the rails and talk about different stuff, but that's what makes the show fun. We have a great time. And I know my channel is only Talk Sports. Everybody tells me that when I'm like, oh, we're talking about music. It is only Talk Sports. It's centric. Like literally it should just be called only Talk Sports centric because it's sports centric, but then stuff happens. And again, like, you know, if the conversation goes off the rails, that's what makes it fun. You know what we're here. We're about sports, but conversation can go any which way but lose. Appreciate everybody for being here. Hope to see you next week. I should be back sometime soon, hopefully with Will and D for the predictions next week. That'll be fun, and have my NFL predictions next week as well. Just keep it rolling here as we're getting closer to the middle of November and the playoff pictures shaking out for college ball. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a lot of fun. But congrats to everybody's teams today. Glad Carolina, Alabama, and Indiana won today. Went 3 for 3 today. That was a great day for me. I hope it was a great day for you guys, and I hope you guys have a great night. I will see you guys soon.